welcome to the It Doesn't Hold Up podcast. We review and reevaluate all things we remember fondly from our childhood and years prior to see if they still hold up, and more often than not, they probably don't. I'm Stuart Shepherd, along with my co-host and good friend Michael Smith. Smith, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Stu. And how are you?
Well, Smith, I've been meddling with science again, and I've created a
Oh, not
monster.
a, not again.
Yeah, I put
Is
Mentos in
that?
cola. Very, very, very irresponsible.
I thought we were just wanking into a Bunsen burner again.
That was you, Smith. That was you.
Oh yeah, smelled pretty bad.
Yeah, it did. Science. Right. Anyway, little tease to what we're doing this episode. Not
Wanking.
semen. Yeah, in a Bunsen burner. Yeah, yeah. Should we just start this episode again? No, no, no.
More
Come
like more like a comical flask.
on.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Got us back on track. Right. Before we get into this episode's nomination, just want to talk about last episode's feedback, which was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So, mixed bag as always. So, another great video, guys. I'm going to seek out this film. It sounds like a hoot. Laugh my ass off.
A hoot.
Hoot, hoot.
Hoot,
Uh,
hoot, hoot.
wouldn't say this is so much feedback, but two lit symbols. I was like, okay, I guess our podcast was lit, or was the fire lit, or was the film lit? I don't know. I don't
Or was something on fire and someone was calling for help?
know. And now
And the
they're
only
dead.
way they knew how, through leaving emojis on random YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's not how you get help.
Oh dear. Never mind. You guys completely hit the nail on the head. Between Kevin Costner's vanishing American accent and those bizarre geography choices, this movie absolutely does not hold up, though Alan Rickman's unhinged performance is still pure gold. So you were wrong. We said it did hold up. And then the last one was that a spoon behind Stew on the shelf? Yes. Yes, it was, because I wanted to cut out Smith's heart
With a spoon.
with a spoon. Right. Right. That was all the feedback we got. Did you get any subsequent feedback where you told people or heard people heard our podcast or what?
So I work with younger people,
Ugh.
not that young, but younger. And despite the fact it was, I would say, around the seminal film for our generation, a couple of them at the very least said, "What is that? I've never heard of it. What is that film?
Ugh.
Is it the one with Russell Crowe?"
Oh.
I didn't hate that one. Everyone hates that one. I didn't hate it.
I refuse to watch it.
It's fine.
No, apparently his accent is dreadful. Not that Kevin Costner's was much better, but yeah, no.
Carrie Elwes was the only one who could do a British accent.
Oh, that is on the list for us to cover, but that's gonna have to be much later down the line because we've only just done Robin Hood. Cool. Right. Is there anything else you want to say on Prince of Thieves, or should we move swiftly on?
No.
Right. So this episode's nomination came from Smith himself, and it is Species from 1995. So this is about a hybrid DNA alien human being who escapes from a research center, goes on the loose in look of a mate to shag and repopulate. And a motley crew of scientists and government people have to track it down. That's
A,
about it.
mot- a motley crew of question mark
Yeah.
people, ill-explained roles.
Yes, there are some questionable choices throughout this movie, and yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Cool. Right. So this came out in America in July 1995. We got this in September 1995. So we have done 1995 a few times. So what are we
Mm.
doing for our scene setting for this section?
I just thought we'd have a little chat.
Oh, all right. How was your day?
Yeah. Oh, lovely, thanks. And yours?
Yeah, yeah, it was
No,
quite nice.
I thought we'd have a little chat about something that goes together as well as chocolate and peanut butter, sci-fi and horror.
Ooh.
Have a little look around what your favorite sci-fi horrors are, a little bit of an exploration of the genre. And one thing that I wanted to say straight off the bat with this is quite a lot of sci-fi. When I was thinking about this, kind of looking through films, oh, is it? Quite a lot of sci-fi has horror leanings
Yep.
because there's something inherently frightening about otherness and aliens
hmm
and technology going wrong. It kind of lends itself quite well to horror. And not just in this kind of sense where it's an alien running amok, but like various other things. So I think you look back as far as the Universal monster films of the 1930s. There's at least two. I mean, if you're looking at The Invisible Man
Yep.
and Frankenstein, both of which have sci-fi elements in their
Yep.
horror, and those things carry all the way through into the modern day. So The Invisible Man has its recent remake, was it 2020? I want to say.
Yep.
Again, perfect example of sci-fi horror. And Frankenstein, being it's the same basic story, every version of that is sci-fi horror, even the most recent Guillermo del Toro one, although I didn't like it that much.
Frankenstein's a weird one. Like Invisible Man, I get that as sci-fi horror, but Frankenstein always firmly gets put in the horror genre. Like we know it's
Hmm.
sci-fi horror, but it never ever says, "Oh, that sci-fi horror classic," do they? Always just say that horror classic.
Yeah, but I think it kind of blurs the line a little bit. So I was thinking again, it's
Mm.
like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Mm?
So we look at like the various versions of that, and out of the four cinematic versions of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, there's at least three good ones. Philip Kaufman's 1970s one being the best example of that. But that's sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's hard sci-fi horror. But again, it's often lumped into horror or thriller. But yeah. So anyway, so what are some of your favorites? And let's, I think, again, just quickly skip past the big, the big glaring egg in the room and
Yeah,
say Alien and Aliens, it goes without saying,
of
are
course.
some of the best sci-fi horror films ever made.
Well, this is a difficult one because my favorite horror movie, although I'm probably not allowed to call it horror because it's horror sci-fi, is The Fly. The Fly for me is a perfect
Hmm.
film.
Hmm.
Absolutely love
Hmm.
it, right? But that would fall in that bucket of sci-fi horror. So
Well,
that's a
my favorite film of all time, as you know, is John Carpenter's The Thing, which is very firmly sci-fi horror.
even though the whole movie is body horror, but it's dealing with aliens and science and
Hmm.
whatever else and that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Where do you
Uh,
stand on Predator?
oh, because that's got horror elements. It's a monster going around murdering people, but it's also an action movie, but it's still sci-fi. So that's a difficult one.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah,
mm. It's definitely got elements of a slasher film about it,
yeah. Yep.
certainly. I tend not to think that it fits into the horror category. I
Mm.
think I probably liked it as much as I did when I was a kid because of that horror adjacent
Yeah.
kind of trappings. But I think it kind of leans too far into action. One that doesn't for me, and I think is actually no, I think I say that might be the same as Pitch Black. Taking a more modern example.
Could be horror. It's aliens picking people off one by one, maybe.
Same type of thing, exactly the
Yeah.
same type of setup. It's aliens,
Hmm.
it's people getting killed by those aliens. It's in the dark, like that's very horror adjacent, but it's got big action beats in it as well. So
Yeah.
where do you draw the line?
Yeah. They Live. That's one I absolutely love. That's definitely a horror sci-fi
Hmm.
one. Dealing
Hmm.
with aliens. Yeah, you've mentioned The Thing. I mean, obviously the obvious one, Aliens, Predator. There's probably a whole host of them I can't even think of. I don't know whether you have a little list that we can refer to.
I do have a little list that we can refer to. So if I'm looking at things like Night of the Creeps and Slither, the later sort of
Slither, yeah.
almost a loose remake of Night of the Creeps. You see Night of the Creeps?
Yeah, yeah, you got it with me
It's
one
got Tom,
birthday.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got
it's
Tom
good.
Atkins in it. That's cracking. That's sci-fi horror.
That's funny.
There's a Larry Cohen film from the 1970s called God Told Me To, which, if you haven't seen it, very quickly, starts off with people killing people and saying God told me to. And this the whole thing is that, that these people believe they're being inspired by God to go on killing sprees. It turns out to have more of a sci-fi element to it.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's not a great film, but it's an interesting film.
Mhm.
Um, if you're looking at more recent examples, you've got Pandorum. I don't know if you
I
saw
want
that
to
with Ben
see
Foster and
Pandora.
Dennis.
It's been on my
It's
list to
not.
watch for years, but I've never watched it.
It's not great. It's
Okay,
not
that's a
great.
shame.
It's very derivative. It's very generic. It's watchable. It's one of those solid 3 out of 5 films you watch. You go,
Mm.
oh, it was all right. Yeah, it was
Oh,
that. It's that.
I've funny thought one. Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. Yes, Event
Yes,
Horizon.
definitely that one.
Yes, absolutely. The best film that Paul W.S. Anderson ever made. You've got The Hidden with Carl McLaughlin. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, not seen that one.
So that's a really good one. So in that film, um, an alien parasite comes to Earth and hides within people and goes around killing people, and the
Oh,
cops are trying to find it. And Carl McLaughlin's one of the cops, and I believe he's an alien. But it's yes, it's very much sci-fi horror there.
okay.
Um, More recently, The Color Out of Space, the Richard Stanley movie with Nicolas Cage, based on the H.P. Lovecraft story.
Hmm.
If you haven't seen that, there are some horrifying moments in that film.
Sold. I'll watch it.
It's upsetting in parts, very upsetting.
Okay, all right.
Um, Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, Ten Clove. Yeah,
It's a
that's
horror
kind of
film.
a it. Yeah, I get a monster smashing up the city. Yeah, yeah. I guess that could be. Yeah,
Hmm. Cloverfield Paradox sucked.
yeah. I didn't bother watching that.
It was unwatchable. We've got Attack the Block,
Yeah,
Joe
that's fun.
Cornish film.
Yeah, that's
That's
fun.
a kind of a modern retelling. You've got Scanners, the David
Mm,
Cronenberg. That's
yeah,
sci-fi.
That's
So
true.
a lot of David Cronenberg stuff you could say has probably got sci-fi elements to it. Screamers with Paul Weller. Did you ever see that one?
Oh God, I have watched that long, long time ago. We might have to cover that
Yeah.
on the pod. Yeah, we might have to cover that.
Oh, it was bad then. It's probably bad now. Um, Couple more before we get out of here and get on to our main event. I'm going to come back to a couple, but I'll just quickly run through these. Annihilation
I didn't
with
like that.
you didn't like that. I did. I thought it
Nah,
was
I was
good. I thought it kind
boring.
of actually I liked it. This is the more cerebral horror and sort of cerebral sci-fi, which I quite like. Possessor.
Oh yeah, that is good.
Uh,
That's real good. Yeah,
mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that.
that again skirts the line of is it horror? But I think it is,
Yeah, I think it
but I
is.
think it kind of skirts the line. Happy Death Day. Now that's a horror film, and that's a
Yeah,
sci-fi film because it's got time travel.
especially the second one. The second one leans more into
Mm.
the sci-fi than the horror one. Yeah, that's a good one.
A Quiet Place and its
Yeah,
sequels. That's sci-fi
a-
horror. I mean,
absolutely.
the first one is really, really good. I mean, the other two are fine. It's sort of law of diminishing returns because you're just doing the same thing again and again, and it's good, but it's the same thing again and again.
I
I
was
don't
so
quite know
disappointed
how.
by the third one. I was so disappointed with it because I
It
wanted
was
to.
fine,
It was
but
unnecessary. You covered all that crap in the prelude in the second one.
yeah.
I was like, why do you need a whole film dedicated to this? But yeah,
Get Out. I would
yeah,
say that has
yep,
sci-fi, and actually all of it. I've not seen him, but the other two of the first two, three of Jordan Peele's films are Us and Nope. That's all sci-fi horror.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's all
Definitely nope. Yep.
dealing with cloning, dealing with aliens, dealing with um, mind control. That's all sci-fi. Backrooms has certain sci-fi. I don't know if you've seen Backrooms
Not
yet,
yet.
but that's
Not
got
yet.
certain sci-fi elements to it. Now, the two I wanted to circle back to, boring as that I am. Oh, there's a couple more actually. I just jotted down when I finished my list. Life, didn't like it.
Oh, is that the Jake
Derivative,
Gyllenhaal one?
yeah, and I like Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal. I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but derivative, not very exciting. You kind of see where it's going right from the beginning. It's fine. Leviathan, the sort of loose alien ripoff with Paul Weller from Paul Weller,
Paul Weller.
Peter Weller, Peter
Paul
Weller.
Weller from the Jam.
Let's do that. Uh, Peter Weller is set at the bottom of the ocean in a base, and it's kind of got people mutating into monsters. It's
Hmm.
pretty good. It's got a young Daniel Stern in it, um, and Sunshine, the Danny Boyle film.
Is that a horror?
Oh, absolutely. It turns into a slash film at the end.
Yeah, I suppose it does. Yeah,
My
yeah.
least
Okay.
favorite bit of that film. But anyway, the two that I want to come back to just very, very quickly. One of which, just because it's what happens next for one of the stars of the film we're about to watch, is Ghosts of Mars, which is fucking awful. If people tell you that it's misunderstood and to go and watch Ghosts of Mars, I saw it on TV about 2 months ago, and it is one of the worst fucking pieces of shit. And I love John Carpenter. I love
Yeah.
John Carpenter. It is god awful.
All right.
Um, and the other is a film that this owes quite a lot of a debt to, I think, like a more deranged version of this film. Anyway, Life Force.
Life
I don't know
Force.
if by Toby Hooper.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So it involves a female vampire alien
Hmm.
who spends the entire film walking around in the nude, not getting dressed and getting undressed for sex. No, no, just walking around fully naked for the entire film. And it has a young Patrick Stewart in it.
Okay then.
It's not very good. It's absolutely demented, and it falls apart completely in the last half an hour because I don't think it knew what it was doing. It was a canon film. Uh, yeah, Toby Hooper's career is up and down, I would say. But yeah, those are just some sci-fi horrors that I think people should go out of their way to watch or avoid.
Absolutely. Well, there was some I hadn't even heard of, so I will be taking the Smith Hidden Gems
Well,
list and yeah, following it.
I've seen more films than you.
You have, you have. Right then, cool. So we this came out, yeah, as we said, September 9th. Yep, that's it. You've got the Blu-ray. I've got the crappy old DVD. The only
Yes, I
extra
have.
on it is chapter selection. So
I've got the 88 films Blu-ray release. It's got quite a lot of extras on it, none of which I've watched, apart from the alternate ending, which I can
oh,
tell you about
well, we'll get to that later. We'll get
when
to
we
that.
get there.
I'll be interested to hear
It's
about
dull, but let's go.
that. Cool. Right. So in September 1995, I would have been 11. You would have been 10. Again, we would have been way, way too young and very inappropriate to watch this at the cinema. I know exactly where I saw it for the first time, and we'll come to it. But where did you see it for the first time? And how?
Where did I see this film for the first time? You see, I think I certainly had it on VHS.
You
I had
did.
a copy of it. I did. It's probably where you saw it for the first time. I had a copy of this film on VHS. I believe I got bought that for my birthday. It may have been Christmas, but I think it was my birthday. And I think that's the first time I would have seen it. What I would have seen is the poster. What I would have seen is the trailer. And what I would have decided very early on is that I wanted to see this film. Not necessarily because of some of the content, which I don't think I would have known about too much from the trailer, but because of its similarities to other films that I enjoyed. And was the first time you saw it at my house?
Yes, yes. And, and also, you lying bastard, you saw Natasha Henstridge, and that's exactly why you 10-year-old you wanted to watch that movie. You know
I wouldn't
that.
have been 10. No, I wouldn't have been 10 when we saw this. We'd have been 11 or 12.
No, but when you first saw like the trailer for it or
Oh,
TV spots or something like that, you would be like, cool, who's
I
that?
know. Not a 10. Well,
Right. So I remember exactly where we went. It was your 12th birthday party
oh,
in
yes.
your house in Barnhurst. You decided to have a movie marathon. You invited a bunch of lads around, whatever, pizza, nibbles, all that stuff, and we had a movie marathon. We started off with Independence Day, at
Eh,
12, that's fine. And then we progressed to Species. Within minutes of watching this, I'm like, why the fuck are we watching? Why are your parents letting us watch this? And I mean, we'll get to it. There was one particular scene that had me traumatized, And then we took a
you
break.
wuss.
Hang on, hear me out. We took a break and then we went for a walk over the park or whatever. And then when we come back, for some reason, you didn't want to carry on watching the film. You made us watch From Dusk Till Dawn. But I was really intrigued how this film ended, and a couple of the other lads did. So we were separated. So some of us went up into your bedroom and finished off Species, and the rest of you watched From Dusk Till Dawn. But we came down just as the vampires turned up From Dusk Till Dawn. So it was kind of win-win. When you're young, you don't want all that talky shit. You just want to see like gratuitous violence. But yes, I remember seeing this around your house, being traumatized, fascinated by it because I've never seen anything like this. I'm like, what the fuck? And
Well,
then,
that bottoms it out for me then. So I would have got it for Christmas because the chance are I would have watched it several times before I decided to share it for you. So I would have got it for Christmas on my 11th year. So what I would have been 96. Christmas 96, I would
no,
have got this for.
yeah,
No? It
okay. No, your 12th birthday would have
was
February
February 97.
97. Yeah, so you would
Yeah,
have
so
got
I'd
it.
have got it Christmas 96.
Or you rented it and watched it a bunch of times and then maybe got it for your birthday. And the minute you got it for your birthday, you made us all watch it. Something
Well, I
like
could have
that.
gone down the HMB for Bexley Heath and got my dad to buy it for me. Yeah, I could have
Exactly.
done that.
But yeah,
Um, your photographic memory is disturbing.
yeah, I can remember
I
the
don't remember.
films we watched, the food we ate, the people who were there. It was
I
crazy.
don't remember any of that. But it does scan that I would like be watching something. The bit of going for a walk over the park doesn't really sound like me. But
Yeah, I was a bit confused why we did that.
my mum probably made us go out.
Oh, that's probably what it was. You boys have been sat in front of the telly all day, go get some fresh air. That's probably exactly what it was. And then when you come
Going,
back, for some reason, you couldn't be bothered to finish off Space. You went, nah, let's watch From Dusk Till Dawn. I was like, all right.
yeah, it sounds like that scans. I'm like, I'm bored. Let's watch something else.
Yeah, yeah. Right then, shall we get into the plot?
Oh yes, let's.
Actually, this does have some plot. It's not like just
It does have. It has a plot.
it has a plot. Yeah, yeah. Right. So MGM, and then we get some
Brr,
rah rah.
brr.
Then he gets some really shit-looking green mist in space, and it
I
moves
was
it like
like,
a
oh
title
no,
card to species.
throw down. Oh no, green space.
And also, it looks like a really shit PS1 game or something like that, like G Police or whatever that fucking game was. It looks so bad.
Mm,
We get the cast in alphabetical order, and I've written down,
well,
my word, is this a good cast?
we get the first four members of the cast in alphabetical order, and I would assume that was because agents were like, no, he has to come first. No, he has to come.
Right,
First. I tell you what,
right,
why do we put them all in alphabetical order? Then nobody can argue, but not you, Mark Helgenberger. You go fifth.
exactly. Yeah, like on the DVD here, you can see they're in alphabetical order. Also, you can see Michael Madsen seems to be shirtless. I was like, okay, that's sexy, man. Right, so we get a shot of a satellite dish at night, and then it's daytime, and it pans across a super secret space. And then, first better narrative, we get for the past 30 years, the world's most powerful radio telescopes have been scanning the heavens, searching for signals from alien civilizations. The project is called SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Wow. That's what's.
That's real.
Is it
That's real.
really? Wow,
Yeah,
it's a
SETI's
shit
real.
name.
That's real. So part of the screenwriter, I was reading about this, part of the screenwriters um purpose for writing this was his sort of incredulity that SETI and similar were firing this stuff out into space. It's like, oh look at us. Here's how you come and here's where we are. Why would somebody be advertising to God knows what where they are and how to kill them? I don't know about you as well, but the big kind of the big satellite basin you see, I'm just like, This reminds me of GoldenEye.
It was a little bit golden. Same sort of time with it.
I think it's the place where they filmed GoldenEye.
Could well be. Well, yeah, because we learned then that they are
Mm.
in the US government laboratories in Dugway, Utah. And now it's nighttime at the super secret base. And we see a little Michelle Williams girl wakes up and she's enclosed in a glass room in a laboratory. And then she looks distressed. And then we see Xavier Fitch, played by Ben Kingsley. He was like, Ben Kingsley, really, really fine actor. Why are you in this? Why are you in
This,
this?
so I've written down here Michelle Williams, who would go on to be actually famous, and Ben Kingsley, who's always started the downward slide by this into I'll just do it for the paycheck.
Quite
There's
right.
money in it, is there? Well, I'll just do that then. That's
Yeah.
fine. Um, Also, Xavier Fitch. These are some screenwriter names. There aren't people called Xavier Fitch and Preston Lennox. It's like, no, these are not real names. These are names
No.
that screenwriters come up with and go, "Aren't I clever? I'm going to call my character Xavier Fitch."
But we do get Dan, Dan
Oh
later
God,
on.
we'll get to Dan.
Get oh Dan.
Oh, we'll get to Dan.
He's a highlight in
Okay,
this film.
now. Oh,
Fucking Dan.
oh.
Then we see scientists in protective clothing and masks, and they leave, and two more enter the lab carrying canisters of cyanide. I've written down that apparently that's a thing. Canisters of cyanide. All right.
Yeah. I, you haven't got some,
No, this is an air tower behind me. This is not a
but
canister of.
I've got some just for when I want people to leave after dinner parties. Let's get it going. No. Never see people move so fucking quick. I love
No.
Ben Kingsley letting out a single tear at acting right there. That's a bit of acting for you. You want some
Oh,
acting? Or let
all
out a
those
single tear.
all those years of the Shakespeare Theatre, not wasted. Right. The little girl looks distressed as the scientist starts connecting up the canisters and then looks up at Fitch and he mouths the word, I'm sorry. And then she lip reads and reads back, like, I wonder if this is going to come back later. It does.
Mm,
As the cyanide is pumped in, the little girl panics and smashes the glass and escapes. And for some reason, the protective clothing the scientists are wearing doesn't do jack shit. And they all start suffocating, but the little girl's fine, who's had like clouds of this shit inhaled already. Makes no fucking sense. Also, this building is so easy to escape from. As the
yeah,
little girl
I've
goes for a series of fire exits to the outside.
I said that. Very like security of the city. One door, and she's outside, then straight on a train.
Well, and I've written, you can't put a price on fire safety. That's what I say.
I enjoy as well, just as she's breaking out, the guy that's with Ben Kingsley just turns and goes, "She's breaking out." It's like, yes, thank you. I can see what's happening. Don't shout it at me,
Maybe he's friends with Dan. We'll get to that.
Dan.
But yeah, outside she
So
scales. Oh,
this is the first bit. I remember when I was a kid, this bit at the beginning with her in the lab going on for much longer.
me too,
It's
actually.
over
Yeah.
like that. It's like it's
Yep.
one scene and she's out. And it's like I remembered it being longer.
Yeah, and I remember as a whole, Michelle Williams being in this much longer than she's
Yeah, so did I.
barely in
No,
it.
10 minutes, she's out.
If that, and not 10 minutes of her, it's just 10 minutes totality of the
Yeah.
film, and then she's out. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, so she scales a fence with barbed wire, jumps over it, and then suddenly soldiers with guns and dogs chase her, followed by helicopters and jeeps. And I've written they have all this shit on hand immediately, but they couldn't have a few basic locks on the doors in the lab.
Yeah. Or not build your top secret government lab right next to a train track. Kind of feels
Yeah,
like, I mean, they try and get around that earlier later, but nah. Also, if you can track her with a helicopter, you can see she got on a train.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's John in the train with the helicopter would just oh. Yeah, and it's one of those cliche trains that's got an open carriage. You can just jump in it. Right. But we
Oh,
don't
look,
see
a
it.
hobo.
Yeah, exactly that. So many tropes. Right. Then we get cut to a cool sequence with Aileen Biddle writhing around underwater, and it reminded me of The Shape of Water. So, every time they keep cutting to that nightmare she has, I think it looks
Mm,
very, very cool.
mm, mm.
The little girl wakes up from presumably a nightmare to some homeless nonce, and he's about to attack her, so she instantly throws him against the wall and kills him. And I've written down, well, at least this asshole deserved it. There's a lot of people who die in this film who don't deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is, I think, so I was reading this in one of the earlier drafts. It was, she killed a taxi driver, like a nice
Yeah.
taxi driver, and they cut it and put in the hobo instead because it was like, oh, well, you need to keep sympathy for her. You don't want to just murdering people.
I mean, she changes her tune pretty quick, but yes, initially, yeah.
Yeah.
She then loots the hobo. We get helicopters flying over as Fitch speaks to his two henchmen at dawn, and Fitch explains a couple of trains passed through in the time she escaped, and she is very fast.
Mm.
How does she know she's very fast? She's never been let out that glass cabinet.
Well, exactly. She's been in that glass cabinet her entire life. Like maybe they got like a treadmill.
She's on like
Just
resistance
kind of
20.
we clocked the T-Max at 25 miles an hour. Mm.
Uh, mm. Yeah, because she's only like 3 months old, we learn later on. But yeah,
Yeah.
daytime and that train is approaching a stop, and the girl jumps off and goes into some sort of 7-Eleven type store. And then she spots someone buying something with money at the till, which can be exchanged for goods and services, followed by someone paying for a credit card. And I've written down, this is awfully convenient. She arrived at this precise moment to see how money on a credit card works. Uh,
I find this as well. Like she's working out money. She's working out credit cards. She's working out killing hobos. That's all fine. And then in a minute, she gets confounded by a banana.
oh yeah, that really annoyed me when she was eating that banana. I'm like, they have fed you in this lab, right? They have fed you. You've eaten
Can't
human
be the
food.
first.
The girl goes to steal a bunch of shit, but then gets caught. And then outside, she steals a bag from the luggage cart, and then gets on another waiting train. Now, first time I watched this, I thought it was the same train. Like, no, she got off that.
Mm,
That was a freight train, and then she's got
yeah,
on a proper passenger train. And then she gets on a private carriage, which conveniently doesn't have anyone occupying it. Nor is she asked to present a ticket, although that gets covered a bit later.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then outside, some passenger was real pissed at losing his bag she just stole. And then,
Do
yeah,
you
she's
know who
like,
that passenger was?
no,
No one.
no, don't tease my dick, Smith.
Ah,
She starts rooting through that bag and finds a portable TV, I assume, and she's amused by a rodeo show.
I was like, I want one of them. Where can I get one of them from?
Yeah, at first
What's
I was
that
like,
thing? I want it.
is, is it a portable DVD TV player? Whatever it was for 1995, looked pretty cool.
A
Looked pretty cool.
95 DVD player, like a portable VHS. Ka-chunk.
Yeah, big laser disc. Then what happens? Yep, she makes her way to the restaurant upstairs, steals some money from a drawer, followed by kitchen utensils and food from the train's kitchen. And then, yeah, like you just said, she incorrectly eats a banana. I was really annoyed by this.
I mean, she's worked out how to, how to stealthily steal stuff and move around the train, but she can't work out a banana.
No,
Fucking
no.
stupid.
And then a nice train conductor comes in and sells her a ticket to LA, but gives her a reduced price rather than an adult ticket, which is nice. I'm like, yeah, again, this makes it more tragic later on. Like, this lady was nothing but nice. Nothing but nice.
She should have just minded her own business. Stayed
Yep,
well out of it.
yep. Fitch is wearing a spectacular 90s coat, and his henchman pulled the train where that homeless man was. I presume that train stopped earlier in the town that the little girl jumped off of, and then it returned back to its original destination because they seem to be jumping on it in Utah, where the base is.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't look too closely at any of that.
No, no. And for some reason throughout this film, whenever there's an incident, Fitch's team's alerted immediately about what's going on, even when there's kind of minor details. Like, why does he keep being alerted about everything?
It's never really sufficiently explained who he is and what his job is. He a scientist? Question mark. Is he a government agent? Is he both? Is he neither? Mm,
Who knows? Yeah, that's
who
sort of
knows? He
rogue
certainly knows
crazy
what's going on at
scientist man
all times.
all the time. Yep. They inspect the folded up dead nonce in the train, and I've written, why isn't he in a morgue yet? Unless they're still preserving the crime scene. And we learn
Well, probably that.
the DNA typing proves it was her. And I've written down, I'm sorry, what? Do you have like a portable device with you that scans the dead body? Goes, alien DNA.
Well, I can only assume what's happened is that someone's come, examined the body, taken DNA samples, gone away. This is 3 weeks later. The body's still there. It's on the turn. You wouldn't eat it.
No, absurd. Absolutely absurd. They all deduce that she could be anywhere right now, and they should stop all trains. And if Fitch says no, they will have police asking all sorts of questions. And I've written, no, hang on. Surely the police know about what's going on somewhat. As why is Fitch and all of his team here? Why are you here? No reason. But we're just here. Government
Also, you're a
people.
government agent. If the police ask you questions, you say classified.
But is he a government agent? Again, we don't know who the fuck this man
Well,
is.
no,
The two people who hang around with him, I think, might be.
I think he's just authoritatively bald. It does work. You
It
can
does.
just walk into any place as a bald man with enough authority, and people will just listen to you because they assume that you're in charge.
He's speaking from experience.
Oh yes, I just walk in, flash a badge. It's nothing. It's just a bit of paper.
And a
So
gun.
take me to your, yeah. Give me all the contents of your till. I need it for crime.
Yeah. Fitch decides to put key personnel at every stop, and he also has to assemble a team to hunt her down. Ooh. Cut to Michael Madsen playing Preston Press Lennox, who is grateful his
God,
cat is being looked after by Jill while he's on his mission. What's this got to do with anything? What's this got to do with anything?
it's to show you that despite his rough and tumble exterior, man's got a heart.
Okay, fine.
and a
Uh,
cat.
Attica, yeah. Then we cut to Forrest Whitaker playing Dan.
With
Dan
his
Smith.
permanently sad face.
I love Forrest Whitaker. I love
Oh
Forrest
yeah,
Whitaker. I don't love Forrest Whitaker in this. I don't like him at all. We learn that he's an empath and he's having therapy with a psychiatrist, and we learn that Dan has feelings and he feels, which is strange. Like, wait, what?
yeah. It's he he's both empathic, but also when the plot requires him to be psychic.
I,
He,
and
I
who is
don't.
it? Is he just like freelance? Does he work for the government?
I
Is he a
assume he works
celebrity?
for the local police. I mean, he comes to be proved as useful as an actual psychic. I mean, he just goes around and we'll get to it, stating the obvious.
Thanks, Dan. There's a knock at the door and Dan senses it's for him, and sure enough, it is. And some dude telling him that his help is needed. It's like, who the fuck is this guy?
You never see him again. He's just a guy. Who knows?
Oh, and then cut to the train at night. We get that cool nightmare train sequence with the little girl running along, loads of other weird shit going on. I think it's called the Nightmare Train. This bit,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
looks
So I
very
mean,
cool.
I'll mention this now rather than do it at the trivia at the end. But this
Sure.
film, they wanted to cut this for budgetary reasons. So H.R. Giger um, funded it with $100,000 of his own money to make sure that it stayed in the film.
And it's like 5 to 10 seconds. It's,
Yeah,
it's
you see it
insane.
twice.
Do you? When did you see it again?
No, maybe not. I'm sure you see it a second time.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
She wakes up. The train carriage is an absolute fucking pigsty. There's half eaten and empty food everywhere, and I got very upset by it. This bit was cool. And for 1995 effects was cool. All these like her hand starts pulsating, so's her face and all that, and
I
the
don't think your
tentacles
head
start
and
coming
hand are
up.
supposed to do that.
No,
I mean, I'm not a medical doctor. I am a doctor, but I'm not a medical doctor. But I don't think your hand and face is supposed to pulsate like that. And if they are,
no,
see a physician.
absolutely. But it does look cool. And then tentacles start coming out of her face and wrap around her in the corners. Like, yeah, that's when it starts to look a bit ropey. At first, when it's
Well,
all just kind of pulsating, it looks cool.
it does look a bit ropey, but I think keeping it in the dark helps.
Yeah, yeah, yep,
So having the shadows go across it really helps, I think, because it kind of makes it's not as glaringly obvious.
sure. Right, we cut to the super secret base at night, and Press has arrived via helicopter and shown a room with Dan. Then we also meet anthropologist Dr. Stephen Arden, played by Alfred Molina. Yay! And
Young
molecular,
Alfred Molina.
yep, molecular biologist Laura Baker, played by Mark Helgenberger. And then they all make introductions as Jews they're here for something important. It's like,
Well, no shit. No shit. This is when they start. They're talking to Michael Madsen. Like he's like, oh, I'm going to explain who you're. Dan explains who Michael Madsen is. He goes, but you're curious, like the rest of us. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, no shit. Why do you think he's there? Do you think he's there not curious? Like someone's brought him in, taken him out of his home, taken him to a government facility. He's like, wait here. I don't know. And I don't care.
duty calls.
And also then he explains sort of what he does. And he's like, you hunt people, don't you? It's like, well, yes, what he was saying.
Yeah,
Is kind of what he was hinting at. You don't have to be an empath to understand that what he's hinting at. He goes, oh, I do stuff that people would rather not know about. It's like, you kill people.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what you do, right? I
yeah,
don't need somebody who claims to be psychic to go, you hunt people, don't you?
yeah. Yeah, this script really pisses me off. It's almost written like it's written by a 12-year-old for 12-year-olds, and we were probably that target audience when we were at that party. Like, wow, tits and
It
violence.
is it is the it is the kind of thing where you watch it now and you're like, even if read the trivia behind it and the guy the writer did loads of research. No, he fucking didn't. These are not scientists talking to one another. These are
No,
words you've read in a book and you've put down because they sound smart.
yeah,
And it does that thing that really annoys me, and I'll get to it later, where scientists explain basic concepts to one another that they should know.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Press does have a good line there. He goes, I'm here. If I'm here, that means the shit has really hit the fan. But yeah, and he's a freelance solution to the government's problems. All right. Um, and then that nice train conductor comes in on the train to see the little girl, and she goes, "It's a little late for TV." And I've written down, "Now look here. First of all, you're not her mother. Second of all, it's a private carriage, and she's not disturbing anyone. And
She might
third
be
of all,
asleep.
yeah, exactly. And third of all, why is it a rule not to watch TV in your own private portable TV, your own private carriage? Like, couldn't you just told her to turn it down? It's
Yeah,
so absurd. Anyway, this poor train conductor comes in, sees that fucking mess everywhere, and then she's promptly killed with that cool ass looking cocoon in the corner as an alien hand bursts through. And I've written down, this poor lady did not deserve this. Not
Well,
at all.
she deserved it for sticking her nose into somebody else's business. She also deserved it for walking into that bathroom, seeing that cocoon thing on the wall, and deciding rather than leaving to approach it.
Poke it a bit.
What is that? I was going to poke it with a stick,
Yeah.
or maybe I'll lick it. Oh, I thought it might be.
It's
Thought it might be beef. It's not beef.
not beef at all.
What is that?
Yeah. Then the girl is now a fully grown woman and falls out of the cocoon naked. And I remember as a kid being like, oh.
Go on.
I like that choice of film, Smith. Thank you. Right, back at the control room at the super secret base, Fitch enters and meets the assembled crew. Fitch explains what we already know, that in 1974, SETI sent out a radio frequency to outer space with various facts about the Earth, including human DNA. And in 1993, we received a message back from an unknown source. First, it was instructions how to make an energy source, and second was instructions on how to mix DNA with ours. I've written down, look, I'm sorry, what? Instructions for DNA? When you need a blood tissue or a sample or something, or do you just type in the code they've given you into a computer and hey presto, there's your
Yeah,
DNA?
yeah. That didn't make any sense. Also, it's I've written the science is shonky, and even if it did work, grossly reckless.
Yeah, well,
Like
what did they
you
think they
wouldn't
were going to
you
create?
wouldn't do it. You'd be like, oh, this unknown source has told us how to mix their DNA with our DNA. You know what? Let's give that a shot and hope it doesn't fucking kill us all.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
I mean,
we
this
learn.
briefing scene is so 1950s sci-fi homage. Like
Oh,
it's properly like there's a lot of that going on in this film. It's
yeah,
like it's
yeah, yeah,
clearly like, well, I'm just gonna sit around and do all the science. Suppose he
yeah,
doesn't have a pint.
yeah. So we learned this was the process. With a new combined DNA, they injected this into 100 human eggs. Some embryos were formed. So two of them are frozen in liquid nitrogen, which is never brought up again. I guess that's
There's
setting
your
up a sequel.
there's your sequel.
Yep, which was yeah, because I did wonder how the fuck did they recreate Sil in Species 2? But there you go, that's why.
Thinking ahead. You got
Yep,
franchise on your mind.
there you go. One was allowed to grow and became Sil, which is the code name, which from henceforth she'll be known as Sil. The evolutionary was extraordinary with its growth in a matter of days and weeks, and they made it female to make it more docile and controllable, apparently. And then each goes, docile and controllable. Guess you guys don't get out much. What?
Let's just have some casual sexism.
Ow. And then feels that she didn't like being locked up and
Oh, I've written that
isolated.
down. She didn't like being locked up, being alone. It's like, well, no shit, Dan.
And this bit just gets better. Then there's footage of 3-month-old Seal dreaming of Dan Hilaire. She goes, she's having horrible nightmares. Oh, fucking funny. And I love Forrest Whitaker. Why is
Yeah,
he
he's
so bad in this film?
it's a bad part. It's a badly written part, and he doesn't know how to deliver these lines. He just gets sad and softly spoken. It was like it's like John Coffey in The Green Mile.
Yeah, yeah. But do you know what's weird? That I don't remember him in this film, right? I remember Michael Madsen, I remember Mark Helgenberger, I
Hmm.
remember Ben Kingsley. I do not remember Forrest Whitaker being in this. So years later, we was like, oh yeah, Forrest Whitaker was in Species. Like, was he? So again, his
Yeah,
character made no impression on me
I
whatsoever.
mean, with him and Ben Kingsley, this film has two Oscar winners, and
Yeah,
Michelle Williams has been nominated for an Oscar. It's an impressive hit rate. Alfred Molina, I looked it up, never has been.
should be. Should be.
Travesty.
Yep. Fitch then explains everyone became anxious, so he decided to end the experiment to conduct more research. I've written down, i.e., murder this creation. So,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry, why did you get anxious? If she was just being a little girl in a glass cabinet, not doing much, why did you decide to kill it? It's not like she killed a
Well,
couple of
because she was
scientists.
fast and she was strong, and it's all what you fucking expect. You've mixed random alien DNA with human DNA. What do you think was going to happen? She'd just be a normal kid, but green.
But also, they're lucky what they created was a normal looking girl, because later on, when they do that experiment, that big fucking monster thing starts coming, it could have turned into that. So I'm like, but
Yeah.
why did you decide to kill this little girl? I don't know. Just very
He
unclear.
was like, well, we were hoping for something with three boobs, and
Yeah.
we didn't get it, so we set it on fire.
Yeah, start again. Fitch again tells us what we already know. That Seal killed that nonce in the train, and the DNA tests proved it was her who did it. And then Hen tells us there'll be more deaths, and she's a predator. She has eyes in her front, so she can see her prey. And I saw it on a documentary on the Discovery Channel. Wait a minute. She's got eyes in her front, so that makes her a predator. Does that make me a predator? I've got eyes in
Well,
my
yeah,
front. What?
that is actually how it works. Um, so predator animals often have eyes that are kind of focused on forward, like whereas prey animals have a wider field of vision, so they can see around them a little bit more. Do you notice in fish, like sharks,
Yeah.
late forward, but like fish have the signs on the side of their head. so they can see around and have a little bit more. It's just basic evolutionary science.
But that's fine. But she looks like a human. It's not like they've created a creature with its eyes in the front. She,
No, no, I don't disagree. The line doesn't make any sense in the context of what they're saying. Um, there's a bit where Michael Madsen, I've written down a few of these, where he goes, "Yeah, I think I saw that too." It's like it's almost like this was crying out for someone who could ad lib, and they did not have it. There's a couple of lines where they say something like odd, and the response is like, "All right."
yeah. Which again, an ensemble cast. Why couldn't they have better acting? Maybe just nobody had any
Mm.
chemistry with each other. I don't know.
I
Uh,
mean, it's. I mean, Marg Helgenberger in particular is quite shonky in this. Like she's quite wooden. Like
yeah,
there's a few line readings where I'm like, "Ooh, I'd have done that again."
yeah, for sure. Press confirms his understanding that they've been assembled to hunt down Seal and kill her, whereas Laura is surprised they shouldn't capture her and study her instead. It's like, well, no, like, they were trying to kill her in the first place. Why would they go back and study her? The train then slows to stop in LA, and now a grown-up Seal dressed in the conductor's clothes, which for some reason seem to fit her.
And don't have any blood on them.
No, none. Seal leaves the train and seems curious at everything around her. Then helicopters land for the crew, and they board the train to see the dead conductor and the remains of the cocoon. I've written down again, who or why has called Fitch's team? Okay, is
Someone's
this?
called the police. The police have called the government? Question mark. It's also when they go into the cocoon and Dan says something bad happened here. It's like, well, thank you, Dan. Thank you, thank you for that. Because looking at the dead woman and the alien cocoon on the wall, I couldn't have told you that something bad happened here.
And they also say her larynx has been crushed. How the fuck did you? It doesn't look like her larynx has been crushed. It's just a fucking...
They went. That's all squidgy. That's
That's,
crushed.
that's
That's a
crushed. That
crushed
is.
larynx. Your larynx isn't supposed to be squidgy like that.
And then Dan always goes, she was hungry. I was like, what? No shit, Dan. All the wrappers and the half-eaten food everywhere. Laura realizes now she's fully grown, but Dan thinks she's still a child. And then Press asks the henchman to get a read on the conductor's credit card details and ID, and Seal no doubt took them with her because the film told us earlier she knows how to use a credit card and cash. Fucking hell. Oh, God. And then what? And also, how do we know Seal left the train for LA? Maybe she got off a stop before and killed the train conductor much earlier. How do we know she's in
Well,
LA? Unless
maybe
it's
it
a
only
non-stop
stopped.
train.
Yeah, I would assume it's that.
Right, right, okay.
This really. This is. Sorry, keep going.
No, no, go on.
No. I've skipped ahead a bit, but you keep going, and we'll get to the end of the scene.
Sure,
I've
sure,
got a
sure.
line.
Sure. Dan observes that she kills when she feels threatened and she has no resource. And I written down, apart from that nonsense on the train, Dan, when did she feel threatened? Did she feel threatened by the train conductor? Because why?
Yeah.
She's perfectly lovely. Arden noted that LA is a city of taboo and she will fit in well here, but Fitch says LA is the city where the battle is going to be fought and won.
I was like, what? That's the line I had. I was like, what? So what?
Also, I've got Battle Los Angeles on DVD. I can see it. I still haven't watched that.
Oh, that film's fucking terrible.
I will not watch it. Right. Sylph notices a wedding shop and buys herself a wedding dress. And I've written down, why does the woman behind the counter let her wear this out of the shop? This is not normal behavior.
It's LA, mate.
Oh,
If she's paying her money, she can do what she wants. A fucking horrible wedding dress as
yeah,
well.
it's horrible. At first, I was like, maybe it's not a wedding dress. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh no, that's a wedding
It's just
shop.
a
She
wedding
goes
dress.
into, yeah,
She looks like a Power Ranger.
yeah, a bad Power Ranger.
Yes.
And the woman behind the counter also thinks Seal is foreign and she doesn't take better care of her money and is acting weird. So that's racist.
I'm foreign. She's foreign. She's Canadian.
Ah, there you go. That's what it was. Seal also noticed that the woman is pregnant. And the crew arrive at a hotel. We learn that the Utah super secret base is being temporarily relocated to the empty virus research labs at the university. And I've written down, sure, nobody will notice anything. Never mind that this crew go around and have helicopters, cars, jeeps, and an army behind them at all times.
This is kind of a weirdly delivered scene because they're talking about like doing some additional research. Mark Helgenberg like stumbles over a line really badly and they don't bother picking it up again. Whittaker doesn't do anything. And Ben Kingsley's weirdly dismissive. He's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, what do you mean, whatever? You brought these people here to hunt it down. I'm like, whatever, whatever. There's a couple of shots in this with Ben Kingsley where I think it probably was something that got cut.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, towards the end. But like, yeah, this is just like, all right, we can do some more tests if you want, whatever.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Fitch explains they're going to process the evidence they found on the train, and then Laura asks if they should grow the creature with just its own DNA so they can investigate its vulnerabilities. And then you're right. Fitch just goes, yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah, all right, go on then. You seem rather blasé about being in possession of alien DNA. But fine, whatever, yeah, great. But that's the
Also,
line that Mark Helgeberg sort of just trips over a bit. And she's like her own of DNA. All right, do it again. Do it again.
surely they already would have tested the alien DNA that they got. Like, why? Or did they
They
need
never.
the human DNA to complete it to have a proper sample? Oh, fuck knows.
So what I think is actually interesting about this is you don't really know what the aliens are because Syl is a mixture of the DNA they told them about mixed with
Yes.
human DNA, but the DNA they told them about is not necessarily the aliens that sent its DNA. So it could be a biological weapon.
Ah.
So what comes out in the lab scene might not be what the actual aliens look like. It could just be something they've sent down to Earth to wipe out humanity. You never really get a sense of what the aliens look like.
That's true, actually, because I mean, I hate it, but in like Prometheus, they create
Mm,
the xenomorphs, don't they? They
yeah,
are the biological weapon, but the alien
yeah.
race are not actually a race. They're reliant on something bonding with it to create, which is the same with this. So yeah, so you're right.
Mm.
Right, and then Dan also thinks it's a good idea they can experiment on the DNA because then we can know how it feels. Fuck's sake, fuck's sake, Dan. Syl's walking along wearing her wedding dress, looking at children everywhere, and then checks herself into a motel. And I've written down, how does she know what a motel is? And she also has bags of shopping with her. Why are you still wearing that wedding dress?
She's just been
Uh,
watching other people do stuff and copying them. I
yeah,
also
it's
like the
probably
fact,
that.
yeah,
Syl's fascinated by everything in a motel room, including the TV, where she sees a film where a car crashing into some electrical equipment,
mm,
an advert for changing your hair,
mm,
and some softcore porn. Mm.
mm.
What was you going to say? You like that what?
No, no, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
I've
All
skipped
right.
ahead.
Cool. All right. Cool. Cool. In the new temporary lab, the crew are messing around with alien
Ugh.
DNA and end up breaking the camera. I've written down old fiddlesticks.
This is it. The camera breaks. He goes, "Shit, the camera's just gone down." I was like, yes, obviously. Why say it? There's another worse bit in this in a minute.
All right. We'll get to it. A press agrees to go to the chamber with Laura to get a closer look at the DNA experiment they've done because the camera's fucked. And as they're replacing the camera, Dan sends.
He's like, about his talent is realizing something's happening 3 seconds before everybody else and 5 seconds behind the audience.
Oh, Dan. But by Jove, something is wrong. The alien DNA starts mutating and they can't close the cabinet door as they drop the bolt. Oh no!
This is
So,
where it's why the Alpha like he's dropped the bolt. It's like yes, thank you.
thank you,
And
Arden. Thank you.
then in a minute he's got you've got to get the bolt from under the grate. It's like yeah, we know what we're doing. Why are you saying the obvious? And why would you have a lab floor with a grate? Anything you drop is going to go down that grate.
Yeah, so contrived. Fitch won't let them out until they secure the room, and then the alien DNA is out of control and growing at a crazy rate, but Fitch still won't let them out. And then Prescott's trying to smash his way out, but no luck. And then Fitch tries burning it via a switch, but it doesn't work. So he presses another switch. He's like, "You've got 2 minutes to kill, or the whole room's gonna go up." This is like fucking Mission Impossible. This is so bad.
So also like use the gas line as a flamethrower. That's a terrible idea. That is a fucking blow the whole place up. What are you playing at?
But I'm sure when we were kids watching this, we're like, "Wow, this bit's action packed. How are they gonna get out in time?"
I mean, I'd be like, maybe I should use the gas line as a
Yes.
flamethrower.
I
Get
can't
around the
talk
back,
about it.
get around the back of the oven. I'll tell you, it's a little aside once when I was a kid. There's a little hole in our kitchen floor that went down into like a basement. I used to get lit matches and drop it down there because I thought that's where the gas lived. And I wanted to blow the house up so I could jump away from it, like in an action film. Like, whoa,
Oh my God. And you're not even joking.
no!
Imagine if it did work though. You got
My
the
dad called me doing
blacked
it
out,
one
sooty
day.
face. What do you do?
Dad called me doing it one day. Gave me a clip around the ear.
Got surprised. Oh,
Hmm.
right. Press starts trying to stab that tentacle with a pole. Fitch still doesn't want to open the door, but at once he sees it's not dead, but then Arnold eventually lets them out when he hits the switch, and then the room goes up in flames, killing it. And that's the end of that.
And I put, but they got out easily and with no issue.
Yeah. Yeah, the door's just go like a
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Cheers.
Thanks. Back at the motel, Sil was trying on sexy clothes, and then after reception is quite amusing. She goes, "Where can I find a man?" That's quite funny. The fact he doesn't even question, he goes, "Oh, there's the Inn Club down the road."
What I really like about this is it's very weird in a film like this that the motel owner isn't portrayed as being sleazy and weird. He's just
Right,
quite
I thought
nice.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite nice to her. He's like, oh, you don't forget your credit card. It's like, oh, he's not a sleazy weirdo. Okay, he
No,
was in RoboCop 3.
who was he in RoboCop? Just one of the rebels.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
he was in the gas station scene in RoboCop 3. He was the
Oh,
attendant.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I thought that I remember this wrong. I swear this guy got killed. Like later on, he I
Mm.
tried her luck
Mm.
and she kills him. No, you're absolutely right. He's one of the very few people who doesn't die and isn't a prick. Just like, all right, cool. Yep, gets a credit card, which is awfully convenient that she took that train conductor's earlier. Press is watching ice hockey in his room, and if Fitch calls him to tell him the credit card has been flashed up at a nearby hotel and written down, wow, these guys move fast for their intel. They really, really move. She's literally just paid for it. And it's one of those old-fashioned credit cards when you have to take like a reading of it with a swipe. It's not even like electronic. How would
Mm.
they have intel immediately? She's used the credit card.
This is a film where Natasha Henstridge goes from place to place and everybody else follows her a
Yeah,
few seconds later. That's
yeah,
what happens in this film. She goes somewhere, they follow her.
yeah. There's nothing clever. There's no real detective work,
No.
thinking three steps ahead. No, there's none of that. The not so subtle van is on its way, just as Seal was immediately let in the club. The bloke at the front goes, you legs, you're in. It's like, fuck. And this club is 90s tastic weird. I'm like,
Oh,
what
it's
is going on?
the most 90s club that I have ever seen.
Yeah. Still, Sil starts talking to some dude, but it's cop blocked immediately when some chick throws herself on him. She says, I have a party to go to, but no one to take me there. And then he agrees to it. And this royally pisses off Sil. He follows her to the toilet. That woman starts to gloat that, she stole the man. This bit was fucking great. And I remember even as kids watching, it's going, oh, that is so cool. That woman sits down to have a piss. And then an alien hand breaks through the wall and rips her spine out. I was like, oh, it's everything a 12-year-old boy wants to
So
see.
cool. So cool. It still looks pretty good as well. Like
Yeah.
the bit as well, just for that though, when they make you turn in the bathroom, she's like, whatever it takes, right? I'm like, sexual politics.
Yeah.
All right, 90s. It's also the 90s where attractive women get with unattractive men.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of the dudes in this are like, why do you fancy this man? Like, why? And the crew then arrive at the motel when they talk to the receptionist. They look at his shitty CCTV footage, which I can confirm was a thing in the 90s because I worked in a newsagent. It was like black and white, blue, and you couldn't see shit. I was like, what is the point of even having this? You're not gonna see thieves or any crime or anything like that on it. The crew confiscates the tape, and then the receptionist said she was asking about meeting a man, so we sent her to the ID Club. Now, at this point,
Forrest Whitaker says, she looks nice. Shut up.
shut up, Dan.
Shut up, Dan.
In the club, Sylvian takes off her top and walks around with just her bra, but considering how weird this club is, it doesn't seem like an out and ordinary thing to do.
What's the guy with the hat doing?
Over the hat.
There's a guy with like a flat hat on, like a
Right.
straw hat. And just shaking his head and go, ah, just keep
I didn't even
cutting to
spot
it. It's
that.
like, what the fuck is this?
That's weird. And there's all weird shit going up on the stage with like trapeze stuff and people bending over and gyrating with each other. It's very, very fucking
Very
weird.
odd.
She approaches some long-haired dude called Robbie and uses the same other party go-to line that murdered woman used earlier. And then some woman in the toilet finds that murdered woman. And right on cue, here come the cavalry, helicopter included. Press finds the murdered woman just as Seal's in the car with Robbie, and she watches how he starts up and drives a car. I was like, well, who needs lessons, huh? And
Just
luckily,
later, I was watching this with Hannah, and she says, "How'd you know how to drive?" I went, "Because you watched that man do it."
it's an automatic car, so it's easy. And then Robbie says, "There's always some action in this part of town." I was like, "What? But
Uh-huh.
is this like your throwaway line of when weird shit happens? No one suspects anything. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I think
But
so. I think LA is just full of weirdos.
is he
I think
though?
America's full of weirdos.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Apologize to American fans. Send your hate mail
I
to one Michael Smith.
I don't apologize. Be less fucking weird.
All right. Hate mail to one Michael Smith. Anyway,
Yeah, bring it.
Seal and Robbie arrive at his expensive home, and then Press is talking to the bouncers about who left with who. I'm like, seriously, do you know how many people must have come and gone from this
I know.
club?
And they're like, hold on a minute. Robbie left with a blonde. It's like Robbie left with a Robbie by name and who he left with. On his way out, we're like, see you tomorrow, Robbie. Like, where everybody knows your
Yeah, he either has shares or dodgy dealings with this place, or he's literally there every single fucking night and drops a lot of money when he's in there. And then Dan smiles, he goes, "That's him." I was like, you know, that's him. He feels things, don't forget. Right.
children.
Yeah, I hope not. Robbie's giving Sil a tour of his house and has clicking sensors for some reason. And then Robbie goes off to take a shower. So,
Yeah.
I'm so sweaty in that club. Maybe you want to take one
He
too. What?
he gives her all the options. Like, I'm going to take a shower. Maybe you want to take one too. Well, I'm going to take a shower. You can have one later. It's like he's giving her all the options. You can have one now. You can have one later. Have one in the morning if you want.
Yeah.
I'll plenty of hot water. It's a modern boiler, so we're not on a meter. It doesn't. I don't have to light anything. So you just whenever you want, baby. This is sexy talk. Shower.
Yeah. And then Robbie tells her to take her clothes off. So she takes off their bra and Robbie's impressed. And then suddenly she decides
He
she doesn't want
says. He says, very nice. Smooth, smooth, mate.
very smooth Robbie. She decides she doesn't want to have sex with him after all, and it pisses him off. And then he forces a kiss on her, and then she kills him with a tongue through the head. I've written down, which is awesome. It's really good.
It's pretty awesome.
It's
Pretty
very
awesome.
Xenomorph, though. I was like, nah, come on. But yeah, it was still
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Mm.
The crew arrive at Robbie's house as Sil is showering off the blood, and then Press is walking around ever so slowly and finds Robbie dead on the floor, but Sil is now gone. Well, of course she is.
There's a bit after he gets out of the shower. Hannah's like, why do you have to put his trousers back on? I was like,
Yeah,
well, for two reasons. One, so you get the line about him not not having taken his pants off, and two, so you can see his dead body without his dick flopping about.
well, there's that. Oh, look, he's dead.
It's the 90s. Female nudity is fine. Male nudity, not till wild things.
Not too well, things.
Um, this was the bit just before this where Forrest Whitaker was like, she would have listened with a nice guy. Well, you're wrong because he tried to sexually assault her.
Yeah, this man did deserve it. Several people in this
Not a
film
nice
don't
man.
deserve it. He deserves it. Yep. Um, the crew were discussing what happened, and Arden thinks she fits the classic definition of a psychopath. Fucking hell. Better this help from Melina.
You're dealing with half alien person. She's not anything. You can't apply
No.
general logic to what she's doing. This is also the bit where Mark Elgabo's like, she's trying to mate. Then she stops and goes, reproduce. It's like, Ben Kingsley is a scientist. Why are you explaining that to him? He knows what. I'm not a scientist and I understood it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing for the cheap seats. Playing for the cheap seats. This is, just as an aside, the Exorcism of Emily Rose has my worst ever example of this cheap seatery when somebody in a courtroom scene says, people with mental dissociative disorders aren't always aware of their different personalities, or something like that. And then the lawyer turns around and goes, you mean crazy people don't know they're crazy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I got
yeah.
it. Thank you very much.
For the dumbass, you didn't get it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, playing for the cheap seats.
And I don't know if you noticed, there's this bit in this scene, there's terrible camera work. It keeps going, you character, you character, you character. And it
Mm,
doesn't cut away. It just, the
no,
camera keeps bouncing between it. It looks
yeah,
fucking awful.
yeah, it's awful. It's all quite flat, but it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, yeah. And then we find out that he's a diabetic, so he
After
wouldn't
all
have been
that.
acceptable to mate with.
No, no, exactly.
Take that, diabetics. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, I thought that if the twist had been like he had AIDS or something because he was a heroin addict, but oh yeah, that's better, right? But no,
Yeah,
he's got diabetes. Like, I don't think it's sexually transmitted. Like,
I don't think it's hereditary.
no. I mean, is it? I don't
I
know.
don't
But
know, but my dad's got diabetes. I ain't got diabetes that I'm aware of.
yeah,
Or more to the point, yet.
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
eating sugar out of the bag again.
Just going back to the bit about the trousers as well. And then he said he must have been frustrated. And Odd does a really throwaway line. He goes, "Aren't we all?" Or something like that. It's like, right, hang on. So you've had this one throwaway
You are
line that sexually frustrated. It's never explored again until
well,
right
no,
at the
he
end of the
does.
film.
He does get more sexually frustrated throughout the film, but this is the first time when they even begin to mention it because he does get a little bit like there's a bit where Morgan Helgenberger is chatting with Michael Madsen later on, and he's a bit like, no,
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. And then Laura believes she rejects it. Oh no, no, yeah, we said about that. And because yeah, apparently rats can allegedly sense genetic damage in potential mates. I was like, can they? I'm like,
probably.
I'm gonna have to look up this swords.
I
Um,
actively look for it. No, I'm joking.
yeah. And then Dan points out that some men don't like rejection. And I've written down, it really is awesome they have this man along them to explain how people feel. Men don't like rejection. Thanks, Dan.
Cheers for that. Yeah, no, some people do though. Like women love it.
Absolutely. Fitch then orders the henchman to put an ABB on Robbie's car, which I'm sure they did immediately, and everyone in this town is now going to be on the lookout for that car. Every single cop in LA, including the only cop in LA, is going to be looking for that car.
But nobody will find it until it's just too late.
Just too late. Fitch says he's going back to the motel to check it out some more. I've written down, okay then. Check what
Yeah.
out.
Poke around.
And then Seal now knows how to drive, but after seeing an incredibly unsubtle about the people at the motel, she decides to drive straight by it. Smart. Why are they all camped outside? In the motel, Dan uses his magical powers to tell everyone Seal won't want to come back to the motel with everyone else. Fucking hell, Dan. Laura has found menstruation blood, and thus she is definitely capable of reproducing. Yes, we've already established that earlier. Laura, thank you.
Just scattered about as well. Blood
Yeah,
just scattered about
all
all
over
over
the
the
box
shop.
seat. Yep.
Yeah.
We get another cool nightmare of an alien driving around, and I've written down, good thing I don't have epilepsy though. And then there's a lot of flashing lights in this. Seal is asleep in the car the next morning and wakes up before driving off. And then she pulls over the car and starts walking across the road. And then some douchebag on a skateboard ends up getting her run over. I was like, wait, what?
Well, I'd forgotten about this car crash scene. Completely forgotten about this bit. This bit didn't ring any bells in me when she got walloped by the car. I was like, oh, I must have tuned out at this bit.
See, I remember that she ends up with the nice man who takes her back to the house, but I couldn't remember what the circumstance was. But yeah,
Well,
this
see,
was the circumstance.
I got it all mixed up. So when the guy got the tongue to the back of his head, I was like, wait, doesn't he die in a swimming pool? Somebody dies in a swimming pool.
Yeah, it's
Like, yeah, yeah,
similar.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah. And then this man called John, he's very kind, sees what's happened, calls 911 on his mobile phone. And then a patrolling cop
That's,
nearby sees the car that Seal was driving and notices it's out of gas. And I went, sorry, how have you instantly recognized this car that it's the one
yeah.
that she nicked?
I've written down, luckily, the 90s hot man, which is to say shit hair and bad fashion, arrives to save her.
Yeah,
And
he
that
does.
character, that actor's name is Whip Hubley.
Whip.
Yes,
That's the name.
Hubley.
Whip Hubley.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Or Hubley. I don't know what's worse.
Oh, Hubley's funnier. Right. And then what happens? Yeah, they're back at the temporary super secret lab. They're trying 90s computer technology to enhance the CCTV footage of Seal at the motel, but it still looks shit.
This is what movies think computers can do.
Yep. Yeah, enhance a VHS
Yeah.
videotape.
Enhance. What, from what? From what exactly?
A photo of it.
I'm just going to zoom in more.
The crew assumes she must be now the equivalent of 23 and her biological clock must be in overdrive. I was like, a 23? All right.
Sure.
Um, Dan tells us what we already know, that she wants to have a baby. You can't even make this shit up. This is actually the script. Right. Arden explains that if her offspring is male, it can also be capable of reproduction within 6 months. It will likely be a shagger once it's able to be one. I was like, yep, true. And then Fitch gets a call that Robbie's BMW has been found. Again, who the fuck has
She's
told
calling him.
him?
I think you just got to go with it.
I'm, it's just insulting. This script is so insulting. The decisions, the flow, just oh.
Wait until you see what this man wrote as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll get there. At the hospital, Johnny's there also, but he says he doesn't know much about her, but he offers to pay her medical bills on his credit card. And I was like, that was awfully convenient, wasn't it, John?
And in my defense, she is very, very attractive.
Yeah. Sylvie's being treated by doctors who say she has broken bones, but then they're aghast when they see it's all regenerating in front of them. Then she gets up and she's all fine. And that effect looks pretty cool as well.
The doctor's like, excuse me. And the nurse like, we've got an emergency. Like, yeah, but okay, I'll come and help. It's like, you wouldn't. You'd be like, fuck whoever that's been. That kid who's been hit by a bus. I don't give a shit.
Fuck that kid.
This person's a marvel of medical science.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Syl meets John out the front and he can't believe she's okay and he asks to leave, so they do. And at the scene of the car crash, Robbie's car, the henchman immediately have news about a weird story at the hotel. And I've written, sorry, the hospital. Who's giving this information? Who? There might be 5 or 6 hospitals in this city, maybe more, right?
Mm.
Have they put a tag on every fucking hospital? If something remotely strange happens, can you call this number and let us know? What?
Quick, this woman's regenerated. Call Ben Kingsley.
Yeah. Oh, Chris and Laura go over to the hospital, check it out, and then Dan starts doing his spiritual shit again, saying that she walked, she walked that way.
See, this is the thing with the Dan character. When he's not being completely fucking useless, he's just like a Deus Ex Machina. They just use him to be like, over there. And they're like, okay. Because it's like, how else do they get out of this? Like, they've had all these people inexplicably giving them information about how else do they get around. It's like, I just use the sidekick. He'll be able to tell us what's going on.
But it's
It's
not
really
like,
lazy. It's very lazy.
and it's never explained where these powers come from or this or that. There's very little character development in this. In fact, there's no character development in
No,
any of these
none of
people.
them, in any of them. There's nothing to hang on to apart from broad archetypes and the charisma of the people playing them. Like, Alfred
Yeah,
Molina's good because he's Alfred Molina. Like he's got no character apart from he wants to have sex.
yeah, and
And I
he's
wonder if he's gonna come a cropper.
mm. At John's house at night. He's prepared some fruit and cheese, and then Seal is fascinated by his hot tub. And I've written, seriously, is everyone in LA in this film fucking loaded? Like,
I know.
can they not just come across someone who's got a really shitty apartment? Maybe they're a aspiring actor, they work in a diner, they're a waiter, something like, no,
Yeah.
everyone's loaded.
He's got a lovely convertible. He's got a massive house. He's got a garden that looks like something from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and a big hot tub. For some reason, John takes a Polaroid photo. See, I was like, why? Apart from the script told you had to do that.
Mm.
Why have you just random woman and you're having a nice evening? Let's get a Polaroid. No.
He does that to all of his victims.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true.
He's got a cupboard with all full of women.
So maybe he does deserve what's about to happen to him.
Mm.
Press and Laura speaking to the doctor about the reforming her bone structure on her shoulder, and they speak to the receptionist who tells them some bloke checked her in and gave his credit card details. They've written down, wow, that's convenient. Now they have a lead to track her down. Press flirts with Laura by giving her some candy, and it just feels horribly awkward.
Yeah. Mm. They don't like it.
No, Laura and Press are in the car using 1990s tech to track down John's address, and off they speed. For some reason, Seal and John have now decided to get inside the hot tub. Although John does have the decency to put some swimming shorts on, Seal is very naked. I
Yeah.
don't hate it,
No,
but
no,
she is.
I'm not going to complain. That's when the phone starts ringing. He's like, "Oh, I better get the phone." He's like, "You dipshit."
What's wrong with you?
I'm like,
If you're that rich, you probably got a voicemail.
just I don't. Yeah, in that position, in that point, I don't care who's calling, and I don't care about what.
I'd disconnect the phone. Laura can't get through to John, so she asks Press if she'd leave a message, and he makes a really shit, inappropriate joke saying, "Tell him he's about to copulate with a creature from outer space." And I've written down, is it just me, or is nobody in this film taking the severity of the situation very
Yeah,
seriously?
they're all quite blasé about an alien running around killing people. This is one of those bits I was talking about. He goes, "Tell him he's about to copulate with a creature from outer space." She goes, "Copulate her." He goes, "Yeah." It's like, right. So if you'd ad libbed something there, it would have been better than "yeah" or "cut it." Don't include that bit.
Yep.
You don't need that.
No,
That or he was just like rolling his eyes, like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
but probably that. Uh, Seal was still trying to have sex with John and starts forcing off his shorts just as Laura and Press arrive. So then John tells her to take it easy and stop rushing. And then Seal realizes people are here and tells him that she wants to have a baby. And naturally, that puts him right off. And then she just drowns him in the tub.
I mean, I'd be like, "Yeah, sure."
You're very hot.
You are very attractive. Would I have to pay child support?
Yeah,
Put it out there. Because if it's a no,
right on. Now, also, I mean, I don't hate this, right? But it picks and chooses when she wants to morph into the alien. Like when she's killing him, she turns into her true alien self, whereas she kills other people and she's not a true alien. So I was like, does it just depend on
also
mood? Like,
the bit where she killed the woman in the club, the alien hand came through the wall.
yes,
What
yes,
what was on the other side of that wall? Where had she gone? Was she in the gents
yeah, probably.
or in a broom cupboard? And then did she change into a full alien form to do that,
Was it just
and
the
then
op?
change back and get dressed again?
Yeah,
Or was she an alien wearing a pink sweater and trousers?
that would have been even funnier.
Just thinking out loud. Um,
No, no, the valid points. The valid
it's
points.
interesting with this as well. Like this is kind of, you know, it's weird that I kind of get the plot and I kind of understand why you've gone with, oh, she wants to procreate to make a new alien race, but it does feel a bit weird. It's like it's a woman alien. What does she want? She wants to have a baby. Because isn't that what all women want? To have a baby and to get naked all of the time. Isn't that what they always want? It's like, I mean, you wouldn't make this film today, would you?
No, no. And do you know what? I mean, we'll come to it when it doesn't hold up or whatever. But when I was evaluating, it's like, if this film came out now, I don't think it would do very well. I don't think it'd do very well at all.
I think it would be straight to video. I don't think it would get onto the cinemas at
No,
all.
no. We'll get there though. So yeah, John's dead. Another poor sod who doesn't deserve to be killed. Uh,
Mm.
and Press and Laura are creeping around the house again, very quietly trying to get in. And then, how are they not hearing all the blah, blah, blah going on of John being murdered?
No.
Doesn't matter things underwater. They hear all the thrashing of water about. Press and Laura then find poor murdered John and Seal has escaped because, of course. And then, as Press is creeping around the surrounding area, we see alien Seal with scope out
Well,
from afar.
when he creeps into that jungle set that apparently is the guy's back
Yeah,
garden,
yeah, I got
it's funny as
confused at
well
this. It's like,
because
is
he's
this then his...
walking. Yeah, he's walking for like 5 minutes, and then he's like a fence, and then the camera cuts the other side, and he's only about 5 yards away from the house. It's like, hold on a minute, he was climbing over logs, and he's only just gone about 5 meters.
Yeah, I was very
Um,
unclear whether he'd then left the man's house, but no, that was still his garden.
yeah,
And then for some reason, a squirrel attacks Laura for a lame jump scare, and the rest of the crew arrive at the house.
Michael Madsen displays concern for her by shaking her violently. He goes over and goes, "What's wrong?"
Pull yourself together. Then we get helicopters flying around as Alien Seal is watching Dan. And then Arden says they should check the body if there's any evidence they've had sex.
I'd like to have sex.
Dan goes, I used to be scared of the sight of blood. Now I guess I'm getting used to it. And the Ben Kingsley goes, oh, yes.
Dan is such a wet blanket. I'm getting used to it. All right,
Wow, this dialogue.
have a fucking tissue, mate.
Yeah. Seal's running around all naked, has made her way to the car park of a grocery store and asks some poor unsuspecting woman getting into her car for help. And then Dan finds that photo of Seal and John and deduced that she liked him. Oh, Dan, what do we this thing do without you? And conveniently, just like with that shitty CCTV, the picture isn't very clear of Seal.
What
Why?
does
What?
she look like? All that we know is that she's blonde. She's definitely blonde.
Blonde and hot.
She's she's blonde.
Yeah. Apparently there's no evidence of semen in the hot tub. Again, that was very fast forensic work. You managed to check the entirety of that pool for
Someone,
jizz,
someone,
and you couldn't find
someone,
it.
someone went, nah,
You
bit of
telling me
pre,
this man?
bit of pre cum, but there's no
Yeah,
jizz.
yeah, I was going to say, was there no pre-cum in there? But yeah. And then Price makes a terrible joke that goes, maybe she took it with her. Again, you are not taking this seriously, are you?
That man is dead.
Yeah, he might have been dead doing what he loved, but still he's dead. Um, Dan remarks that the team interrupted her mating, and then Fitch speaks for the whole movie audience and says, yes, give me something I can use. And then Dan points out that she's not scared of them. Seal is now driving that poor woman's car and is wearing her clothes. And as she scopes out John's house, I've written, could she not have just driven in the other direction? Like, why did she have to drive past John's house? Uh, this bit angered me so much. Fitch then says we should all go back to the hotel and get some rest. And I've written down, Fitch, there is an alien going around town murdering people, and there's a chance she could fuck someone, get pregnant, who in turn will be born, and then go off and fuck other people. And there's an alien race. It's going to wipe out humanity. And you think right now you should all go back to the hotel and get your heads down and get some kip? Do you really think that's a good fucking idea? And he goes, and we'll go back to the club at night. All right, Fitch, what are you going to do during the day?
Also, you go to come. Also, yeah, we better get back and get some kip. It's 8:30 already, and I haven't had any dinner.
Oh
So we're
my
sitting down
God.
having a meal.
Yeah, because
Uh,
even when they get back, Arnie goes, right, who's hungry? Dad goes, I'll have some food for you.
well, that's him trying to get Mark Helgeberger to go for dinner with him. That's why he's like, "Oh, thanks,
Ah,
Dan." Yeah,
right. Got it. Right. And then during all this, Sue is lit reading Fitch and explains that they're going to go back to the club and stake it out. And I've written down, yes, she couldn't possibly find another man anywhere else other than the club and at night. Uh, and then, yeah, Laura and Press are driving along and talking about how she would make the perfect biological weapon and we get more awkward flirting with them. And yeah,
an inopportune moment.
yeah,
No, it's not
uh,
the time. Not the time.
not the time. Yeah, Arden and Dan go off some food, and Laura and Press go to separate rooms. But Sil suddenly realizes she fancies Press and she starts eyeing him up and then fantasizes about shacking him. It's so funny. Takes off his shirt, he's wearing a vest.
Sexy Madsen in
Sexy
his
man.
wife's beater.
Oh my God. But then she wakes up from a nightmare. So hang on a minute. which bit happened? Did she go into the hotel and scope him out, or was the whole thing just a nightmare and it never happened? Because she was driving along in the car, tailing all the cars that were going to the hotel,
Mm.
and then next video she wakes up at this house, and that poor woman's all been gagged and tied up. And I remember this. This was the scene that traumatized me at your house, right? And I got very confused about what was going on. So she begs to be let go, and she says, "Oh, I won't hurt you." And Syl says, "No, you will, but you just don't know it yet." And then she starts asking, "Do you ever have nightmares?" and questioning her own existence. And then,
It's a weird existential moment for the chap with the
yeah,
hostage. It's trying to add depth to the Syl character, and you kind of already feel a bit sorry for the Syl character. It's not her fault that she's doing any of this. She's just been developed. Like she's a monster. She's like Frankenstein.
yeah, she didn't want
She's just
this.
going around doing what she's born to do. But you don't need this, and it doesn't go anywhere.
No, but this is the bit that confused me and freaked me out as well. So she cuts off her own thumb, which grows back, and she puts it in a handbag, and then she cuts off this poor woman's thumb. And all of this I misunderstood when I was younger, because you know when they have all the accidental bit and
Yeah, yeah,
do you
yeah.
know who you I thought she was checking if that woman's thumb would
Thumb would
come
grow back.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, and I thought she cut all of her fingers off because you see when she goes to the bin, that is a big
Yeah,
ass tissue she's got. But no, what she's doing, she's trying to frame that woman
yeah.
to look like. So that's how I remembered. I remembered that she wanted to check if
Also,
everyone else regenerates.
yes, what I thought, and it's a bit subtle a bit later. It's a bit too subtle because it's still, even really now when you watch it, it's a bit like, what? Oh, okay. Because also, so what you're telling me is they'll take the thumb that they found in the door that hasn't exploded, they'll test it and go, yep, DNA test says it's Syl. Should we look at the body? Nope. Should we do
Right.
any testing on this body at all to see if it has an alien skeleton, if it's got alien DNA? Because just because it's burnt doesn't mean it's going to be completely devoid of DNA. But no, we got a thumb. It's fine.
Exactly.
Nothing. A perfectly weirdly intact thumb.
Yeah.
No, no,
So
thank you.
weird. But again, this scene traumatized me. And then when we went for that walk over the park, couldn't stop talking about it. One of our friends who were with us, I went, I can't stop thinking about that when that woman got her fingers cut off. He went, I can't stop thinking about when she fell out of that cocoon naked. I was the only one who was traumatized.
I can't. Something about when she jumped into that car fully nude. Like,
You know. Then Syl then sets off this woman's car, checks out surrounding areas, including a high voltage box.
yeah, I forgot about
She's
all of this. This bit's quite tedious.
Yeah, yeah. She then starts unsubtly filling up shitloads of jerry cans of gas at filling stations, whilst all the while stealing other cars, presumably to avoid detection. I'm like, but why?
No, she steals the other car so she can blow that one up and then escape in the one that she's already got.
That makes more sense because later on I was like, whose fucking car did she just
Yeah,
nick? And is
she
someone not going to
ticks. Yeah,
notice
so
that?
she nicks that
Right.
guy's car so she can drive that one off the cliff,
Got
and then
it.
she's got the woman's car parked up so she can go nick it, or vice versa. I can't remember
Got
which way
it.
around
Got
it
it.
was.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Back at the club, and the crew aren't making any progress. Dan uses his magic powers to see that Press and Laura like each other. Uh, Arden goes outside for some air and thinks this is all a waste of time. And then Dan's spidey sense starts tingling, so he too makes his way outside. And then Syl approaches Dan, but not before a shit jump scare for some bums. I'm like, what is the point of this?
It's so stupid. Oh, and do you know
Yeah.
who that lead bum was?
Who?
No one. Um,
Ting's my dick again.
also, Arden isn't there because he has to not recognize her.
Yeah, because he goes, I'm going to go for a kip in the back of the van. I was like, could you not just
Yeah,
go out to your hotel room? Oh, no, they're not in the hotel. They're in the club. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Dan runs inside to tell everyone she's here, and then Syl gets to that woman's car with the woman tied up inside. I've written down, presume she hasn't bled to death from having her thumb cut off. Like, as Syl speeds off the car, everyone gets in their vehicles and gives chase, including helicopters. And then,
I won't leave home without one.
no, where did the helicopter come from? Was it just on the
Lisa,
roof of the
they've got,
club?
they've got, yeah, they've got one. They've got one. It's fine. Don't ask questions.
Syl then starts driving down a ravine and then jumps out of the car when the door comes off completely. I'm like, presumably she'd already sorted that out so the door had come off. And then the car collides with that electrical box we saw earlier and blows up. And then when they investigate this later on, you've made the good point about the body. Won't they find various jerry cans full of petrol in the car?
She wasn't smart enough to know you don't drive with open jerry cans of petrol. This bit when it crashes and explodes, Mark Helgenberger goes, "Oh my god!" Delivered in the most flat way possible. It's so shit.
Yeah, it's
Also, why would she choose to carry out this entire plan in an exceptionally bright yellow sweater where you'd clearly see her? Look, she's
yeah,
just over there.
yeah, yeah. And is she that smart to know how all this shit works? Like the other stuff you can kind of, like, she's observed it. Where was she? Oh, because she saw that
It's
shit
a
thing on the TV.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
all the stuff on the TV comes back, all of it.
but not the petrol. You just saw a car crash into electrical. But oh, I don't know. Whatever.
Well, who knows?
And again, this poor woman didn't deserve this. It's another woman. It's like, this woman did
No,
nothing. She did nothing.
feel
Horrible.
sorry for that woman.
Yeah, I did. I did when we were kids. And I was like, oh. Anyway, Syl then runs off as helicopters start firing missiles at the blown up car to be extra especially sure she's dead. And as fire trucks arrive, Syl's. Oh no, I got that wrong. So no, she didn't steal someone's car. That was the car from earlier.
Mm,
Fitch then tells his henchmen to fob off the press and anyone else from knowing the truth. And I've written down at this stage, are we meant to believe this kind of shit happens all the time in LA?
just a bum, a drunk, drove his car full of petrol into an electrical box. Completely normal, and as
Completely
is
normal.
normal protocol, we fired a load of rockets at it.
Yeah. Press doesn't buy what just happened, and then why would she just turn up at the club? Fitch, for some reason, believes it, but Dan says it doesn't feel right. Thanks, Dan. And then immediately, a henchman has found a severed thumb near the wreckage and has deduced Syl must have caught it trying to get out. And then Laura wants to go to the lab to check it out. And down. Jesus Christ, this film. You're telling me that henchman raced down, found that door, looked at the door, there's a thumb.
Hold on, thumb.
Fucking stupid. Fitch foolishly thinks all of this is over. Tomorrow, everyone can go back to their lives. Then back at that woman's house, she was cutting and dyeing her hair, and it's a good thing she saw that commercial earlier because she wouldn't have been able to do that
Hmm.
otherwise. At the hotel bar, the crew are celebrating with some drinks. We won. Science last. Oh!
Oh,
Arden wants to carry on getting drunk, even though Dan doesn't drink, and then Laura and Press go off the dance. But then Press sees a blonde woman, assumes it's Seal, so grabs her, but it isn't her. It looked very similar to her, though. Even when she turned around, I went,
mm.
oh, no, it isn't, but I see why he's made that mistake. Laura said the thumb test proves she's dead, so it's all good, but Press still doesn't
But
buy
also,
it.
does he know? Does he know what she looks like?
Ah,
Because he
no.
then sees her in the lift. So he why is he turning around? It could well have been her. Why didn't he just shoot that woman in the head just to be sure?
Yeah, what did he? What was he hoping when he turned around?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is also the bit where at the beginning of this, Fitch leaves them and goes into the lift. And this is the thing where I think something might have been cut because he gets into the lift in the most suspicious way possible.
yeah, and there's
He
nothing
turns
to
around and
that.
looks like, and then he gets in the lift. It's like, what?
Yeah,
What's
there's no.
happening?
I'm
Is
not.
that a
I'm
bit
going
from
up
an
to bed or
earlier?
anything.
Is that just a scene from the earlier bit of the film? Like, have they just used a bit from earlier? So,
Might have been
eh.
just to explain where he was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Laura goes off on a huff because Press cut their dance short. And then Arden has given Dan Long Island iced tea, pretending it's not an alcoholic. And then Seal, now with black hair, speaks to Laura in the hotel toilet and asks to wear some of her perfume as it smells nice. And then Fitch goes upstairs to his room. Yeah, yeah, you said that. Dan is enjoying his cups of tea, which I thought was quite funny. Laura says she's going to bed, and then Dan says Press should go up and see her. But sex. So Press goes. While in the lift, Press is joined by Seal, and he tells her that he likes her pure perfume and it smells nice, but he clearly isn't at Seal. I was like, look, I'm not buying this either. No, he hasn't seen Seal, but can he not sort of sense that, I don't know, that something like
Yeah. Well,
he's
he
had glimpses of her. Do you know what I
she
mean?
then quite easily follows him without him noticing.
Yeah. But then he's knocked on Laura's door, and then Laura's happy that he's here because she also wants sex. There's a lot of sex during this bit.
Well,
Uh,
as the only other woman in the film, she also had to get her boobs out.
she doesn't get her boobs out though, but they do have sex.
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
You see one of them very quickly. I remember this when I was a kid.
Righto.
Taking notes.
Yep. Press puts a do not disturb sign on the door, and then Press and Laura start making out with Seal listening through the door. And then Seal spots a housekeeping maid with keys, and I've written down, yep, another poor, unfortunate, undeserving soul is about to be murdered. Downstairs, Arden now apparently has the raging horn and wants to approach two ladies at the bar. And then, yeah, we did learn in that throwaway scene earlier on that he's desperate. Dan doesn't feel well, so he goes to bed and suggests maybe Arden should leave as well, but Arden wants to stay. Seal lets herself in a room, but who's? Arden approaches those two women at the bar and makes a real fucking idiot out of himself. Like, oh, oh. And then next door, Seal is listening to Laura and Press having drunken sex, and then Arden comes in the room, and it's his room, and this bit angered
But
me
it's also not
so
next.
much.
I don't think it is next door. They're over the hall.
No, no, because
It's
no, no,
across the
no,
hallway.
it's not. Because what's his name? Dan listens
Mm.
through the door, and then he goes a door down later on to tell them what's going on in the room.
Okay.
But I see
Okay.
what you mean, yeah, because she does cross. No, I think she crossed over to get the keys from the maid. That's what you're
Right,
thinking
right,
of.
right. Got it, got it, got it.
Um, yeah, and Arden asks what this woman's doing in here, and she says, "I stole the keys to this room. I saw you downstairs." and I wanted to have you. And I'm like, look, why aren't alarm bells ringing immediately? All right, she
Yeah,
doesn't have
exactly.
blonde hair anymore. She's got black hair, but come on, I really, he's not an ugly guy, but he's a geek, right? And he's very undesirable. Why
And
does
he's
this
like,
insanely
this
hot
kind of
woman want
thing
to have
doesn't
sex with him?
normally, this kind of thing doesn't normally happen to me. This kind of thing doesn't normally happen to anyone. This
No,
doesn't happen to anyone. And if it does, even if she's not an alien, run a fucking
yeah,
mile. Because someone who's willing to steal keys to break into your room to have sex with you is a lunatic.
yeah. She's either a lunatic or she's a prostitute, and you're going to get stung for a bill afterwards. So yeah, none of this is good.
Maybe that's why Ben Kingsley was going back upstairs so suspiciously. He had some escorts coming in. Someone
Him,
who would
daddy,
see.
him, daddy Ben. Yeah, Arden wastes no time getting his clothes off. He's about to have sex. And then he asks about protection, but there's no answer. So I presume she's just been there. Don't worry about it. Well, I've written down, fair. Right. Next door, Danny's trying to get some sleep, and his magic powers start taking over. He can smell sex in the air, and that hair color advert on TV is on. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's the
Um,
point where he finally has a useful premonition and doesn't fucking do anything about it.
yeah, yeah.
He could
Uh,
have stopped them by knocking on the door. He could have stopped them by trying to come in, but no, no.
no, but then they would have both been dead. Yeah, Seal and Arden are having sex in Arden's room, and then Dan's getting all these visions, and he's listening outside Arden's room, and he can hear moaning and getting more visions, and then he knocks on Laura's door, and then Press opens it and tells him what he thinks is going on. And then Arden does his beans up Seal, and he enjoyed that immensely. And then Seal could feel life within her, and
He
Arden initially
says
finds
that. He
funny.
says that after sex. Well, I enjoyed that immensely.
And then she goes, "Look, life." He goes, "Oh, my dear girl, I know in some cultures people can feel the conception." I was like, wait, wait, wait. So you were cool with this? You were cool with getting this woman pregnant? Forget she's an alien. You're cool with this? She may be mad, but still, what?
But maybe he's like, well, she's very attractive, and if I get her pregnant, then she'll have to stay with me, and I'll get sex at least semi-regularly.
Yeah, and we have learned that Arden's desperate, so yeah, perhaps. Yeah, so he says, "Oh, look, there's life growing in me." And he feels her, and he goes, "Oh, holy shit!" And then that's the end of Arden. Yeah, as Press and the gang have arrived at Arden's door, Silk bursts through the wall in alien form, and then we see that poor old Arden's murdered on the bed. So Sil's heading for the basement, and we also see that maid is dead in the stairwell. And Press says they need to kill Sil before she gives birth. And I've written down, no shit.
Also, they all go after her. Why is Laura coming? She doesn't have a gun.
No. Do any of them have? Oh no, all the
Yeah,
guns are at the back of the van downstairs.
Michael Madsen has a gun.
True. The gang make it to the garage and see that she's burst through a steel door, and then Press shoots open the van back window and starts grabbing some serious guns.
I don't know.
It's
He didn't even check if that was unlocked. He
yeah.
just shot it. He just didn't even look. I mean, I don't know about you, but this is the bit for me where the film slows right fucking down.
Oh yeah? Why
Like
so?
this last 20 minutes, I'm just like, I
This is
don't
the
know. I
bit
think
that's
it's
burning
because
in
she
my
just
head,
turned.
this bit.
Well, it's because she turned into the alien and they go with the shonky CG and it's a bit like,
Ah, yeah, no, okay, fair enough. Silver smashed her way through the wall and made her way through a tunnel, which the gang then enter. And then Dan keeps
what is
mumbling on
that
her. Huh?
tunnel? What is that tunnel under the hotel? Well, she gone through this tunnel. It's like, yeah, just tunnels under the hotels, tunnels under all the hotels.
Oh, they start explaining about how he all opened up during the earthquake, and I'm like, what
Yeah,
earthquake? And there was a
yeah.
throwaway line earlier on where Sil said to Michael Manson in the lift, "Oh, I wouldn't want to be stuck in one of these in an earthquake." So I don't know whether they're
Mm.
just, I don't know.
How does she know what an earthquake is?
Well, yeah, how does she know about a lot of shit?
Mm.
Uh, Dan keeps mumbling on about she feels threatened. Yes, thank you, Dan.
Yep.
We see another innocent person dead on the floor, and they all walk by him without even reacting. I was like, what was the what? Why? What was the
Well, they
point
did
of
say
this?
something. I think it's Michael Madsen like, she must have come through here. It's like, well, gave it away. Was it the dead old boy on the floor? Was that what it was?
Yeah, we should have a kill list of the people who deserved it and didn't deserve it. This film.
This is just this bit as well. This is where they just suddenly abandon their plot and be like, let's just be aliens for a bit.
Yeah, essentially what it is. They notice an open sewer, and after Press sends some flames down there, they all climb down. Then they start making their way through the sewer. Dan's magical powers don't seem to be working though, as he doesn't know where she went. But then she thinks he went another way. Fitch is walking alone and notices what is bubbling below, and then Sil jumps out and pulls him in, killing him. It's like it's the least spectacular death of this movie. It's like, oh, you think there would have been something really horrible because you created me, you tried to kill me, you've been
Yeah,
pursuing
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You think she would have really fucked up? No, no, no. He just
He's
dies.
the Doctor. He's the Doctor Frankenstein character. So you have to kill him off because this
Yeah,
is all his fault. But
it's just lame how he dies.
yeah,
All right. Dan, Laura, and Press find dead Fitch in the water, and then using Dan's magic powers, they start following through the sewer, but they don't see Syl perched above watching. And then she jumps back in the water, swims away, but then Dan sees a crack in the wall, and they're like, "How many more fucking cracks in the wall are they? They're just going into like, the core of the earth or some shit." Syl
Is
starts
that
get
oil? Looks like it. Convenient.
very. I read down actually. It's like, wouldn't that be worth a fortune?
Yeah, I know. I doubt there'd be just a pool of oil under, under
Oh,
the city. If someone's like, "Can we get that?"
yeah,
Nah.
shotgun. Syl starts giving birth, and it's horrible and gnarly.
She sounds like a gremlin. The sound
Yeah,
she's
she does
making, she
actually.
sounds like the
Yeah.
gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Press is firing off flames at every corner, but not getting anything. Press decides to go off by himself to leave Laura and Dan. Dan starts climbing up rocks, then he sees a glimpse of the baby alien. At this point, we see the baby alien is a boy. It's also something I didn't really want to see. It was a bit naughty. And then probably eats a nearby rat with a lizard-like tongue. I'm like, hang on a minute. We haven't established that Seal's got a lizard-like tongue, so why has this alien boy got a lizard-like tongue?
So I'd remembered the alien baby. I'd remembered that bit. I was like,
Yep.
oh yeah, it's a bit with the alien baby. What I'd forgotten about was the bit that comes next, where it turns into a CGI alien baby and tries to kill them. I'd completely fucking forgotten about that.
And also, when it turns into the CGI alien baby, it's about the same sort of size as Seal. So at first, I
Yeah.
got confused. But oh, Seal's, but oh no, no,
Well,
that's
that's,
the
I
alien boy.
think when I was younger, I must have thought it was Syl
Yeah,
trying to defend the baby. That's what I must have thought.
yeah. Dan's crawling through the narrow space of the rock, sees the alien boy, tries to reassure it and coax it towards him, but then it attacks him, and then he instantly gets killed by Dad. He just incinerates it with the gun, and it falls into the oily water. It's like, so what was the fucking point of letting it give
Yeah.
birth? What was
Well,
the point?
if it falls into the oily water, setting the oily water on fire, Margaret Helgenberger is in the meantime fallen into that oily water. She should be fucking dead.
And then she immediately
Like,
gets out because then there's
yeah.
the whole
Also,
jeopardy of
it goes on fire in bits. Like it just slowly
yeah,
goes on fire. And it's like, yeah, that's not how it works. I think it'd
yeah,
go up pretty fucking quickly.
yeah. Because now all the jeopardy is Dan's hanging over to the edge, and they keep going, Dan, we're coming, Dan. Stay right there, Dan, Dan, Dan. Just a minute, Dan.
Who cares about Dan? He's very annoying. Let him die. Let him
Yes.
burn.
Alien Seal is now back, and Press has also returned. And then Seal attacks Press with her titty tentacles, but he manages to
Oh,
cut himself
this
free
is
with a
just
knife.
very unpleasant. The alien nips generally are very unpleasant. I don't
Yeah.
like it. I
No, I
don't
don't
like
like
it at
alien
all.
nips. No.
The nip tentacles are even worse. I don't care for it. No,
Ugh.
thank you.
Press shoots at Seal with a handgun, which ends up falling into the oily, fiery water below. And then Laura and Press are trying to pull Dan up when Seal emerges, grab Dan's leg, and then this is the line I always remember as I was a kid. He loads up the grenade launcher, goes, "Let go, you motherfucker!" Just blows her head off.
Yeah, it's hardly smile, you son of a bitch, is it? It's
Yeah,
it's just such generic final line, and all this bit, the CGI is terrible. It's
yeah, it's not good.
absolutely awful. It's not held up well at all. I mean, I think this is probably because at this time when you release stuff for the cinema, it's the cinema, right? And then you're going to be on home video, but you're going to be on VHS, and VHS is really like low quality, so it probably doesn't
Mm.
look as bad. You stick it on Blu-ray, and suddenly it's like, oh boy,
Yeah, and up to this point, the effects have been pretty good. There's been a nice mixture of CGI and practical and that sort of thing. But yeah, this point, it's almost like they run out of money or just couldn't be asked anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck it, that do.
They've also overestimated how much I care about Forrest Whitaker's character.
Yeah, I thought he did die. I thought it just
Yeah,
ends with Michael Madsen and Mark Helgeman because they're the only two people who come back for the sequel. So I just
yeah,
assumed
yeah.
he
Well, they've got
died.
McKelty. Is it McKelty Williamson in the sequel as well? So they've got their black sidekick running around with them. There's a bit where he says, "Oh, I think you drunk your Long Island iced tea, your last Long Island iced tea, Dan." And Mark Helgenberg goes, "I thought we all had." It's like, no, you weren't there for that bit.
Yeah,
You weren't
yeah,
there for the bit where they were drinking Long Island iced tea. So don't try to get involved
yeah. You went
in a
off on a
joke
half.
that you don't. Yeah, don't get involved in a private joke that you don't understand. Right? It's sad. It's very sad.
Very sad. And then Dan goes, "I'm okay. My pants are a little messed up." And then Mark Helgeman goes, "She was half us, half something else. Which was the predatory half?" And then Michael Madsen goes, "The dead half." I'm like, oh,
Well, no, it was the alien half because because of earlier and
oh
all the people
yeah,
she killed and all the people who have as a human you probably wouldn't have killed. So it's
yeah.
not. It's the alien half. Just you know.
Oh, and the
Yeah.
last line is so shit. They go back through the wall and
Oh,
they come back to the sewer and she goes, "I never thought I'd be so happy to be back in a sewer." And that's the last line.
actually,
And
I've
then
written that. Really, this is your last line. I
that's the
never
last
thought I'd
line.
be happy to be back in the sewer. Cut.
And then during all that, a rat eats that titty tentacle like that. And then we cut
Mm,
back and a rat has now turned into an alien rat and then kills another rat with that lizard tongue. And then we get credits.
doesn't. You've never explained at any point during this film that it can infect people and turn them into aliens.
No, no,
No.
exactly.
So that doesn't make any sense at all. But okay.
Nor is it
And then it
addressed in the
ends. It
sequel.
ends so abruptly. Oh yeah, the
Yep,
rat never comes back. The rat probably just stayed down there being an alien rat, king of the rats.
probably. I mean, that would have been a pretty shitty sequel if Species 2 was about a killer rat, but also Species 2 is a pile of shit. It's even
It's,
worse than this.
it is awful, and I've
Yeah.
never seen three or four.
No, I haven't bothered.
They're straight to TV movies. I'm not. No, no, thank you.
Right. Now let's rewind. It's probably obvious for both of us. What did we love or hate about it back then? I think I hated that horrible bit when that woman got her thumb cut off. Other than that, I thought it was fucking awesome. It was we were the target audience. Like we were 12-year-old
Hmm.
kids. There's blood, there's tits, there's guys with guns being cool like that. Yeah,
There's no depth whatsoever. It reminds you of other films that you enjoy. This is the thing when you're a 12-year-old watching this, watching Aliens, watching, I think of other kind of examples of this, but like Event Horizon, they've got a
mm,
similar tone, and you're
yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's just like these are all the same thing. This is all the thing. You don't really measure the quality and go, well, this is better than that one, this is better than this one. I mean, like obviously you've got Aliens as the high mark, and probably Event Horizon, and this below them because at least those films have character development. But I mean, what did I enjoy about it when I was 12? um,
I
um,
wonder.
which parts of my VHS didn't look as good as the other parts of my VHS? No, I think you're right. I think we were the target audience for everything that this film was doing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, and what about now? Before we go into the shoddiness of it, was there anything you liked about it now?
Yeah, I had fun with it. Like, if you take it for what it is, which is a cheesy B movie, a sort of update of those 1950s cheesy thing from another world B movies, filtered through the 90s, and don't expect a lot from it. Like, as a perfectly fine, disposable piece of here's some characters. They're gonna walk around doing stuff. Some people get killed. There you go. I didn't hate it.
Now, see, this is my problem. If it knew it was a shitty B movie, or even it was a
I
wet,
think it does.
no, I
I
don't
think
think
it.
that. I think it was played deadly serious. Like, there's a really good new sci-fi horror film come out because I remember even the way it was marketed. It was like
Mm,
really taking itself seriously. It's almost like it was trying to do like a commentary on fucking with science and splicing DNA, cloning, all that sort of shit. But it doesn't quite do that, you know. And the science is bullshit. The dialogue is awful. There's plows you could park a bus in. The decision making is baffling, and it feels so small compared to what it could be and what it should be. It just feels really small.
mm.
It's just concentrated in small parts of LA, and then a set at the end where they're in the cave.
I
And I
mean, I
just,
agree with that. There is like they're in the hotel lobby, they're in the club, they're in the motel. That's about it.
yeah, it just.
Um,
You think they would have thrown
and I
tons and
take your,
tons and
I mean,
tons of money on it.
but
This, sorry,
that's why I think it may have been marketed that way, but I don't think it is that. I don't think it, and I think at least some of people involved in it know that it's not that. Like Ben Kingsley knows what film he's in. Yeah, he knows full well what film he's in. I think the director, but Roger Donaldson's a fairly good director. I think he knows what film he was making. Like this is not a serious. I mean, the script is shonky. The script, shonky.
that's awful.
The dialogue is terrible. It doesn't explore. There's no character development. It doesn't explore any of its themes beyond very basic surface level. There's no like, you know, the writer was like he was like. I mean, I've read things about this which said there's a feminist angle to it. I was like, I don't think there is. I think you can if you want to look for it, you might find it, but it's not there. Um, and the writer was saying, there's a theme about trying to find a woman trying to find a superior mate. It's like that's not a theme, you idiot. That's just the plot.
This
Like
is a
that's not
borderline softcore porn film with
it's
horror
not
thrown in.
subtext. Well, also, I thought actually, as I was watching now, I was like, there isn't that much. There's nudity, and there's more nudity than your
Hmm.
average sci-fi horror, but there isn't as much as I remember,
No, same.
and
Apart
it's
from that,
quite fleeting.
yeah, even that sex scene with Arden at the end, it's only like glimpses of it or whatever. But yeah, I remember as
And it's
kids
the
it
only
being
proper
like
sex scene.
gratuitous. Yeah,
Yeah, she doesn't like it. It doesn't. Yeah. Um, yeah, there is definitely shoddiness to it, but the model work is fantastic. The setup's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. There are some
Um,
really, really good practical effects in this. I'll give you that, and
there
some
are
good
some good
kills.
moments. The problem with it is I find like yeah, so the plotting isn't great. Like the thematic exploration isn't very good. Character development is non-existent. The dialogue is pretty crappy. But Forrest Whitaker aside, who's doing a bizarre performance, everybody else is doing their best. Mark Ellenberg is a bit shaky as well, but Ben Kingsley, Michael Madsen, and Alfred Molina are fine. Natasha Henstridge in her first film is fine.
Yeah, she's decent.
Um, the other problem I find is it goes on like it's about 20 minutes longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, I'll give you
For the
that.
kind of film it is, it needs to be short, which is why by the end I was about, come on, like that end bit
Mm,
It's almost like a different film because it was like they'd shot a different ending and they kind of just changed it. And went, no, this instead, and it's like, oh, just become aliens for a bit, and just it's too much plodding for a destination that is obvious. They're gonna kill her, they're
yeah,
gonna kill the babies. Get on with it. Like, stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Anyway,
Pause. Smith trivia. And then maybe you can talk to us about this alternative ending as well.
yeah. So, 113 million out of a 35 million budget, directed by Roger Donaldson, who was the director of a film I mentioned last week, the Sam Neill film Sleeping Dogs.
Mm,
Also directed Dante's Peak, Cocktail, Cadillac Man with what's his face?
I don't know.
Uh, Robin Williams.
Hmm.
It's not great. The Getaway and film that I would recommend to people go and see, an underrated film in my opinion, 13 Days with Kevin Costner about the
Oh,
Cuban
the
Missile
Cubist.
Crisis.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was produced by Frank Mancuso Jr. Where do you know that name from?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, April Fool's Day. Weirdly, then Ronin.
That's a great film.
Odd. That's a great film.
Mm.
Then a couple of other shits, including the Lindsay Lohan I Know Who Killed Me. It was written by Dennis Feldman, who wrote Species, Species 2, Species 3, Species 4, The Golden Child, which is terrible,
Mm.
and Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis, which
Oh,
is
God.
terrible. So yeah, the screenwriter doesn't have exactly have the best pedigree, but he keeps getting work, so hats off to him. It was adapted into a novel and a two comic book series by Dark Horse
Mm.
Comics, one of which was written by the writer, so will be shit. It was originally written as a police procedural in 1987 entitled The Message. And it was a similar premise, but more of a police thriller than what it became. Got rejected, so he wrote it as this. As we know, Sil was designed by Swiss artist H.R. Giger, who also created the creatures in the Alien films. There's a slight
Mhm.
problem for me with that because the imagery is quite similar to Aliens, and you have a problem here, I find, with H.R. Giger in that it does sort of just make you think of Aliens a lot, and it's like,
Yeah,
but that they're better films.
much better.
um, They designed a lot of new technology for the film. So Boss Film Studios was hired for over 50 shots of computer-generated imagery, including one of the earliest forms of motion capture, which they then used a dummy to motion capture CGI on, which means they could do it much, much, much quicker. I mean, it doesn't look good,
Mm.
but it's innovative for what they were doing at the time. Um, yeah, I've mentioned the Nightmare Train sequence before. Michael Manson was very, very pleased with this film. He enjoyed the fact that he got to play the hero, which he never got to play. So he quite enjoyed it. Natasha Henstridge, on the other hand, hated it when she first saw it, but came around to it after a few viewings. She was like, oh, actually, no, I don't hate that film. That's why she came back for the sequel. Michelle Williams hated the film because she got bullied quite a lot. um, the original edit was 2 hours and 7 minutes long and had a
Oh, my
different
God.
end. Had a different ending action sequence and battle. The final cut, 19 minutes were removed. A few shots from the original ending can be seen in the theatrical trailer, so it's a slightly different battle with her. Pierce Brosnan was offered a part but couldn't take it due to conflicts with GoldenEye. The Nightmare Train sequence, as well as being paid for by Giga, was taken from another film. So there's a book on this on Great Unmade Films, a film called Isobar, which would have starred Sylvester Stallone, Kim Basinger, and Walter Matthau,
Hmm.
about an alien creating havoc on a futuristic train. Never got made due to budgetary reasons, but they kind of taken that from it.
Mm.
The tongue that goes through the back of the guy's head was originally meant to be more gruesome. The original idea that they had was the tongue would go all the way down into the guy's stomach and pull out all of his intestines through his mouth,
Oh, cool.
but they took that out because they thought it would get them an X rating. Um, so the rewrite, so Larry Gross rewrote a version of the script. Feldman, who wrote the script, then rewrote it, and all of the edge work were Feldman, and Gross's stuff didn't really
Hmm.
make it in. In the rewrite, once Sil kills Arden, the rest of the team track down to the Griffith Park Observatory, which was in another only unused additional scene. They discover caves underneath it, which she's dug herself to house her children in.
Mm.
And then they use some explosives to blow her up. But also Dan gets killed in that version as well. I meant to think about the cab driver. Yes, there's also the original another original ending that was proposed by H.R. Giger when he was involved in the development of the script or involved in the kind of themes would have involved a military assault on a movie theater where Sil would have escaped to after the hotel sequence, which would have been playing Aliens. And it's like, no, no,
No, no.
don't do that. Now, the alternate ending, which was on the Blu-ray and I watched, is a scene that's supposed to take part after the end. So the last line wouldn't have been about sewer. In it, you see Mark Helgenberger and Michael Madsen, having ice cream on a pier where they talk about all of the themes of the movie, including repeating lines like what was the predatory side, and she just
Mm,
wanted a mate, and all the women of the species, and da 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 da, and like, are we alone out here? And then they just wander off.
that's shit.
I know. I thought it'd be a good alternate ending. It wasn't. It was two people eating ice cream talking on a pier.
Nah, that's definitely the better ending where the rat kills the other rat and just that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just ends. Yeah, yeah.
And there we go. That's all the trivia that I was bothered to say.
Righto. So the final verdict, does it hold up?
Yeah, I liked it. I had fun with it.
No, I'm going to say it doesn't. Because even though I had fun with it, I just could not get past the piss poor dialogue and narrative structure of it. I was like, no, 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 I'm
I
sorry.
see. See, I'm usually really sensitive to bad dialogue, like really sensitive to it. But I thought this knew what it was doing. I didn't want it. It didn't need to be taken seriously.
I disagree. I don't think it knew what it was doing. I thought it was in my mind, it was trying to make a very serious sci-fi horror movie and it failed like that. So I don't
Right.
think, I mean, so we'll beg to differ. So we've got one of those stalemates again. It kind of holds up. Cool. Right. So that was Species. So next episode's nomination, which is my turn. So we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to do our first feature-length cartoon movie. Now, we've covered cartoons before, but not a feature-length cartoon movie. So, Smith, what is your favorite feature-length cartoon movie?
Toy Story 3.
What is your favorite feature cartoon movie, which isn't a Disney movie?
Uh, I can't think. Oh, Book of Life.
What the hell's the Book of Life?
I've
Well,
seen more movies than you.
you have. Well, it's not the Book of Life. What is your favorite cartoon movie, which isn't Disney, which is about a dead dog?
Balto?
That's right. We are doing All Dogs Go to Heaven because I
Oh,
have genuinely not seen that since I was about 5 years old. I remember renting that out from our local off license before Blockbuster was a thing. Same place we got like Willow, Short Circuit, and all those others when I was a kid. And yeah, I just really fancy watching it because I remember enjoying it, although I remember it being quite sad.
yeah. I mean, the one thing I remember about it is being quite sad.
Yeah,
Are
it's
we going
about
to get
dead
into
dog.
existential conversations about the existence of an afterlife?
Like Doggy Heaven and all that sort of stuff.
Or
So
just
yeah,
yes? Well, let's. That'll be fun.
yeah, cool. Right. So just before we get out of here, just want to plug our socials. So you can reach us on email at it doesn't hold up podcast at gmail.com. We're on Instagram at it doesn't hold up podcast. We're on Twitter or X as it's now known, it doesn't hold up pod. We are on YouTube at it doesn't hold up podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other places different podcasts. Give us a good review, like us, share us, and remember, keep those suggestions coming because we will cover them eventually. So Smith, is there anything else you would like to say on Species before we get out of here and return for All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Yes, something bad happened here.
Yes, it did. And also, if you find a hot woman way out of your league in your hotel room who stole the keys, probably call the police.